Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We're live at Northwest Rankin High School, Wesley Scarborough Field, with the Northwest Rankin Cougars getting ready to take on cross county, just a few miles away rivals, the Bulldogs of Brandon. I'm Darryl Palmer, DP, your play-by-play voice of Northwest Rankin High School Athletics. Glad to have you along with us tonight as the Cougars get ready to take on the Bulldogs in what is considered a marquee matchup. I'm going to go ahead and call it that. And if the number of scouts that show up for a game of any indication, we can expect a good one tonight. There's probably at least 15 to 20 scouts sitting right below Jay Fletcher and I. Jay's my color analyst sitting to my left. Jay, good evening. Welcome back from the mountains. Are you ready for some baseball?
I'm ready for some baseball, and I'm glad to be back from the mountains after a week of R&R away with the family. And I am ready for this big matchup this evening. It's always big when Northwest Rankin and Brandon play each other. It doesn't matter the score. I think you could play checkers, and it would be a big deal. But these two baseball teams are pretty good. Northwest Rankin comes in 9-2, 1-1 in their region play. Brandon comes in 8-3, 2-0 in their region play. But this is a big one, and a lot of folks are here. You mentioned the scouts to see and watch and hear the catcher's mitt pop of J.T. Ginn.
J.T. Ginn's got an ERA of 1.08. He's got a 2-0 record. He's appeared in 3 games, 2 starts, 1 complete game, a shutout. He also has a no-hitter on the books. He has given up 1 home run, and according to an article you mentioned, his coach, Stacy Hester, said he's had 1 ball squared up on him. That must have been the one.
Must have been the one. And, not only can he pitch, but he can hit a little bit too. So he's hitting .552 on the season. That's 16 out of 29. He has 16 RBIs. He has 8 home runs. Last year, he was Clarion Ledger Player of the Year. .482 batting average, 16 home runs. So this kid can play. He's going to be in the upper 90s with his fastball. He's got a breaking ball. I wish I could have thrown a fastball 87 to 88 miles an hour, but his breaking ball is 87 to 88 miles an hour.
Well, and for the fans that are here, they won't get to see those speeds. Coach McClaskey doesn't want those speeds to intimidate his players. He'll let the scouts deal with that. He's turned off the clock. The speed gun here at Wesley Scarborough Field for the game tonight, and I don't blame him for that.
Absolutely.
You all of a sudden you'll get everybody in the dugout going, wow, when he hits 95, 97, 98, and not paying attention to the game and realizing that, hey, if a ball comes in at 98, if you square it up, it'll go out faster than that.
Absolutely it will, and that's, when you play against a pitcher that's this strong, has this kind of he's got a lot of movement on his fastball as well, so he knows what he's doing out there. The key is you got to get him deep in counts, try to run up the pitch count, try to get him out of the game because their overall team ERA is 4.18. So that's not very strong there. So if you can get into their bullpen, that's going to be the secret here this evening for the Cougars.
Brandon's coming in with a record of 8-3. They're 2-0 in their region. Their losses are to Madison Central by a score of 18-3. And I think that may have been – I don't think that was actually a record game. I think that might have been – that shows on the. I guess it was too. That's the 24th. That was their first regular season game, and then they lost to Warren Central by a score of 1-0. And of course, the Cougars coming into the game with a record of 9-2. Our 2 losses are to Northridge out of Alabama during the Mid-Mississippi Classic. In a game we gave up 7 runs in 1 inning and ended up losing 8-0. And then the other loss for the Cougars was a game against Madison Central. We lost 5-4 in 10 innings. So go to the coast this past week. We played 4 games against quality opponents, but we went 4 in a row down there, so a good week for the Cougars last week.
Absolutely. A little momentum built into this opportunity tonight, and you don't need a whole lot of extra motivation when you come to Northwest Rankin Brandon, but this will be a lot of fun.
It will be, and it's one. The stands are filling up. Again, the scouts are numerous down below us. Everybody's excited about this game. It's the first game after spring break. All the kids went back to school today. The left field lounge beyond the fence and down the left field line is full of Cougar fans. They sent out tweeter information to the 12th man, as you're very familiar with from football.
Oh, yes.
And so they're out in mass tonight to try to support the Cougars. The right field deck, for the deck heads, as we call them, the adults down there, have everything going strong with their grill going, the concessions are going. It's just a great night for baseball. Weather's in the 80s, winds blowing across from right to left, which we'll see how that affects. It's supposed to go down the speed of the wind some as the night goes on. But it just should be a great atmosphere for baseball tonight. This is what high school baseball is all about. 2 teams that are 10 miles apart, that are always year in, year out, two of the top teams in the metro area. Brandon plays in the South. They're a non-region game, so it doesn't mean anything except for bragging rights. But there's a lot of bragging rights that'll be touted after this game tonight.
Absolutely. You know, go to church with these guys. You live fairly close to these guys. And, you know, you would rather just go ahead and win this thing so that you don't have to listen to all the smack talk that's going on over social media and, more importantly, face-to-face.
Exactly right. And so now the only other time they would meet each other beyond tonight would be as if we both make it far enough in the playoffs to meet at Trustmark Park. And if that were to happen, I think it'd be a big crowd there for this matchup as well.
That'd be a pretty big deal. It would.
And I'd love it because I obviously get to be there as well.
Absolutely.
They've just finished the plate meeting, so I'm going to shift gears into some PA mode and welcome all these fans here to Wesley Scarborough Field. So join me with that as we get ready for baseball here tonight, Northwest Rankin and Brandon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wesley Scarborough Field here on the campus of Northwest Rankin High School for tonight's baseball matchup with the Brandon Bulldogs taking on your Northwest Rankin Cougars. We'd invite everyone to visit our concession stand located directly behind our grandstand. We've got hamburgers, hot dogs. We'll have pizza. Also got chips, compliments of Schlotsky's Deli, and cold drinks. So make sure and visit our concession stand here tonight. This time, first for the visiting Brandon Bulldogs. Leading off and pitching will be number 3, J.T. Ginn. Batting second at second base, number 1, Kyle Reed. Batting third in right field, number 7, Garrett Stanford. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 14, D.J. Walker. Batting fifth and catching, number 6, Reed Blakely. Batting sixth at first base, number 23, Cannon Harvey. Batting seventh, third baseman, number 8, Tristan Tigert. Batting eighth, designated hitter, number 16, Gentry Tigert. Batting ninth, the shortstops, number 20, Andrew Jones. And the left fielders, number 29, Cole Renfro. Bulldogs are coached by Stacy Hester, assisted by Philip O'Brien, Corey Jordan, Todd McInnes, and Ron Fisher. And now, the starters for your Northwest Rankin Cougars. In left field, number 22, Justin Johnson. In center field, number 9, Dalton Rogers. Right fielder, number 33, Landon Tompkins. At third base, number 1, Bridley Thomas. The shortstop, number 4, Logan Stewart. Second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. At first base, number 5, Chris Hart. The catcher's number 20, Case Garner. Starting pitcher, number 2, Garrett Ramsey. And the designated hitter, number 36, Nick Hogan. Along with the rest of the Northwest Rankin Cougars, coached by Jeff McClaskey, assisted by Thad Bennett, Nathan Purvis, Jake Parker, Caden Loper, Quade Smith, and equipment manager Dean Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with our national anthem. That was the national anthem here at Northwest Rankin. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the first pitch and baseball tonight with Northwest Rankin and Brandon here on Cougar Broadcasting. Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School. We're ready to begin. Leading off for the Brandon Bulldogs, pitcher number 3, J.T. Ginn. J.T. Ginn steps into the batter's box as J.R. got 8 home runs, 16 RBI. Jay, my question, why do you put him at the leadoff spot, not down in the 3 or 4 where you get some people on base before he comes up?
You know, some coaches want to put the best player, best hitter, right at the top of the order. So I would guess I just go and defer to the coach on that.
First pitch to him was out just outside, low and away on a breaking ball for a ball. The second pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count to J.T. Ginn, right-handed hitter. Now the 1-1 pitch. Good breaking ball, misses just low for a ball.
I'm not going to say he's pitching around him, but he's going to hit a breaking ball, and it's probably going to be out of the zone if he's going to take a swing at something here.
Now the 2-1 pitch, fastball up and away. If you're going to throw him a fastball, that's where to put it, where not much he can do with it. Now the 3-1 pitch. But you don't really want to walk the leadoff hitter and begin a ball game. And breaking ball, he's going to do just that.
Which is another reason to put him up top, because they know a lot of people are not really going to want to pitch to him, so they try to pitch around him, try to get him to fish around a little bit, but he doesn't do that. And looks like they're going to get a courtesy runner for him. It's number 37.
Courtesy runner for the pitchers, number 37, Cade Keaton. Now batting second baseman number 1, Kyle Reed. So the courtesy runner is Keaton for the pitcher. That pitch misses outside for a ball as well. One ball, no strikes to count. Now to Kyle Reed. He's hitting .222. This is something that concerns me. You get a pitcher throwing around the leadoff hitter. He's not used to finding the strike zone.
Exactly.
Now, Jay, you were a pitcher. How hard is it? Now, okay, now I got to go back to pitching.
Well, it's really hard, and he's first 2 pitches of the second at bat, both very high and way out of the zone.
Garrett Ramsey on the mound for the Cougars. Right-handed pitcher. That pitch way high for a ball. 3 balls, no strikes to count. In danger of walking not only the leadoff hitter, but the number 2 hole hitter as well as we begin this ball game. Just underway, Northwest Rankin and Brandon. Runner at first base is Keaton. Now the pitch, up and away for a ball 4. And now I look to see maybe a coach. There comes Coach Thad Bennett. The pitching coach will make his way out to the pitcher's mound and have a word with his pitcher, Garrett Ramsey. And I'm sure that's exactly what this is for now. Okay, look, we got to get something going here. We got 2 on, but you got to just find the strike zone now. Settle in and pitch. Get rid of the butterflies.
And it's a big deal. I mean, you just think Ramsey's out there thinking, you know, I've got to throw up as many goose eggs as possible. So he puts a little extra pressure on himself just because of the pitcher that he's facing in J.T. Ginn. So he's feeling pressure as a starting pitcher out there, but then a lot of added pressure as to the fact that Ginn just doesn't give up many hits and many runs.
Ramsey on the season. We'll get the next batter coming up. Batter's right fielder, number 7, Garrett Stanford. Now the first pitch to him misses high for a ball. So he's struggling finding where that strike zone is. Almost would have liked to have seen Case Garner go out and talk to him as catcher before the pitching coach. But Thad Bennett, pitching coach, said, nope, it's time for me to get out there and talk to him. Showing bunt. Chris Hart from first is charging in. And there's the strike. He gets one on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Ramsey on the season has got a 1.65 ERA. Appeared in 4 games. Now the 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt, lays it down right in front. Case Garner, and it's called foul ball.
You could hear the double hit.
Yep.
And good call by the umpire getting out there and making that emphatic call that it was a foul ball.
Case, great job coming up from behind the plate in his crouch position to jump on it and was ready. He would have been out. It had been a sack bunt, though. Both runners were able to advance. But 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count to Garrett Stanford, the right fielder. Stanford's hitting .382 on the season. But at this point, Coach Stacy Hester says, you get me a run in, and I'm good if I got JT on the mound. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Keaton at second. Reed at first. Keaton, the courtesy runner for the pitcher again. Now the 1-2 delivery. Just misses inside for a ball. Good-looking pitch. Fastball brought it in on him.
Had a lot of movement into the right-handed hitter. That was, if he swung at that at all he's going to do is just pound that into the ground right back to the pitcher.
Now the 2-2 pitch as he looks back at second and delivers. Breaking ball's popped up foul right side. It actually hits the light stand. I believe it hit a light, may have taken a light out, Jay. I can't tell if that light right there in the center was burning before or not with the way it's angled, but it definitely hit a light up there. It's twice this year I've seen one hit the light.
2 times I've been here. That's, I've seen it hit twice.
2-2 pitch. Hit off the fist to the right side. The only play by second baseman Trimble, and he underhands it not hard enough, but just does get him. Trimble looks at his hand like it slipped out of his hand, but he got lucky on that one to get that out.
Well, it's a good job by Hart, too, of scooping that up and not panicking. But that was another good pitch. He fisted that out toward the second baseman, almost in no man's land out there. But he does get the out, but the runners move up to second and third.
Now batting center fielder number 14, DJ Walker. Left-handed hitter is Walker. Won't get credit for the sacrifice, but nonetheless he did what he was trying to do. He got those runners moved over. Swing and a miss by the left-hander Walker. And that's no balls, 1 strike to count. Quickly ahead in the count this time is Ramsey. Somebody just turned our lights off. We're turning them back on. Swing and foul tip. Nope. I thought he got him. Well, maybe it wasn't a foul. They're letting a runner score, so evidently it was not a foul. So that will just go down as a wild pitch, and a run scores on the wild pitch.
It was a pitch down and in to the left-handed hitter, and I'm like you. I was looking for a foul ball call, but it bounced off the dirt and straight back to the backstop, and the runner scores, and Reed moves over to third base.
But it is an 0-2 count because the swing and a miss at the pitch down. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 run in for Brandon. That pitch catches the outside corner for a call, strike 3. Good pitch by Garrett Ramsey to get the call strike. Now batting catcher number 6, Reed Blakely.
And this will be huge if he can get out of this inning without giving up any more runs. 1 run would be an okay thing after first 2 got on base.
Breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Absolutely right. You walked the leadoff hitter, intentional walk, we called it, as pitched around him. Then just couldn't find the strike zone for the number 2 hitter, Reed. But if you can get out with just one of those scoring, that's pretty good. 1-0 pitch. Swings and misses at a breaking ball down and away. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that breaking pitch has got a lot of movement, and a lot of it is late, which is really good for a pitcher.
Wind still blowing in a little bit from right to left. Good breaking ball there. Call strike. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Now the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 run on no hits, no errors. 1 left on base after 1/2 inning. Bulldogs 1. Cougars coming to the plate. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting. Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We're live at Northwest Rankin High School, Wesley Scarborough Field. The Cougars gave up a run in the top of the first. A leadoff walk to J.T. Ginn. Kind of pitched around him. Walked him on a 3-1 count. His courtesy runner was able to score as runners advanced after the second batter walked as well. Then runners at first and second. Got a ground out to second base. Both runners were able to advance. And then a run from third scored on a wild pitch. Give the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the first. And J.T. Ginn, highly touted pitcher on the mound. The stands full of scouts, and even TV's now getting down closer to the fence. Get a good shot of J.T. Watch him on 10 o'clock news tonight as they're down there filming as well. Word was the Mississippi State baseball coach was going to be sitting in the booth next to us. Is here scouting and watching. Of course, most people believe he will never see a college locker room or dugout. That they figure he's probably a first-round pick is what a lot of people are saying, potentially.
But what a great position to be in. You
Options.
may have the opportunity to go make a lot of money and set yourself up for the rest of your life. If that doesn't happen, then you have an opportunity to play baseball at a great college baseball school.
Now batting for the Cougars, second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. Can you say that again, the last part you just said?
Great baseball school.
And
this
is,
no
I got to bring that.
doubt.
Of course, Jay is a baseball guy. Went to LSU to play baseball. Ended up messing his knee up and didn't get to play. But I'm glad to hear you acknowledge.
I'm just waiting for somebody to take me to the new baseball stadium. I want to check it all out.
Me too.
So I'm putting that out there. So if anybody wants me to go to a ball game with them, I'm game.
Give us a call. That's
Absolutely.
Right. Reed Trimble leading off, hitting .421 for the Cougars. Now the first pitch to Reed. Swings and misses at a fastball. No balls, 1 strike to count.
Well, you can see it here right above home plate. You can see the movement on that fastball.
And it's obvious he's coming in ready to attack, and he's not going to pitch around to anybody. Swing and a miss. He's getting some good cuts, but he's just not making contact. I think he's maybe a tad behind
A tad late, yes.
And that's one thing that the coaches will start telling them in the dugout. Look, guys, you got to start your motion a lot quicker with this guy because we're not used to this kind of speeds. 0-2 pitch. Misses that one low. Took a little off of that one. I couldn't know if it was a breaking ball or a changeup, but it was down. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
You have to think short, quick stroke, and do your best just to put the ball in place somewhere and make them make a play.
Left fielder's playing in somewhat, as is the third baseman, expecting the left-handed hitting Trimble. If he makes contact, probably go opposite field, not very hard. Now the 1-2 delivery. Swings and misses at a fastball up and in. And that'll be the first strikeout of the night for J.T. Ginn. Now batting first baseman, number 5, Chris Hart.
That was a fastball right on his fingertips. If he does make contact with that, that's just going to dribble out in front of home plate. So a really good 2-strike pitch.
Now Chris Hart steps in, the right-handed hitting first baseman. Takes the pitch high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count.
Trying to get a glance of one of the many radar guns that are right below me. I might need your binoculars.
1-0 pitch, misses outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Might need to befriend one of those guys real quick, get them to give you a report. 2-0 pitch. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
I'm being told he's sitting 94-95 with his fastball right now.
Okay.
That's major league stuff right there.
There's major leaguers wish they could throw that.
Yes.
2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Finally makes some contact. That one's going to be fouled off right side. Late, but contact. And that's a start. Get the bat on the ball. You get one squared up. Ain't no telling what you can do. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. Brandon leads 1-0. Catcher setting up well outside. The pitch is going to go there on a breaking ball. And that was that mid-80s breaking ball.
84 on the breaking ball. I did pick up a radar gun there. There are guys throwing that would love to say they can throw a fastball 84 miles an hour.
Got most of our staff.
Yes.
3-2 pitch now coming to Hart. Ground ball left side. Shortstop will glove it. Plant makes a good throw across the diamond. And that's a confidence booster. It's a ground out.
It is.
But he said, hey, guys, you can't hit this guy. So Chris Hart will go down on the 6-3 putout. Now batting for the Cougars, right fielder.
So give you another big challenge when you're playing defense behind this guy. Since they don't put the ball in play a lot with him, he's just overpowering stuff. You can fall asleep as a defensive player. That's a good job by Jones of just fielding the ball cleanly, setting his feet, making the long throw across to first base.
Now right fielder Tompkins steps in. Has had some big at-bats this season. Has had a few big at-bats on the coast last week, but he swings and misses. Had what looked like an off-speed pitch just then. And that's something you got to be careful. If you're sitting on fastball and he comes in with that off-speed.
Makes you look like an idiot.
It sure can.
It does.
0-1 pitch. Has a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Good-looking pitch.
Well, he's pitching him backwards a little bit now. He started off with a changeup, then goes to the curveball. Now watch for the fastball somewhere out of the zone.
Catcher's going to set up on the high is what he's looking. And he throws him a high fastball. You called it, Jay.
Every now and then I get one right.
I was just kept looking. The catcher never varied from his right to left, but he just kind of motioned up, and that's where he threw it. Now 1-2 pitch setting up off the plate to the right on the outside corner. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and that'll be strike three. That'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. After one, Brandon leads 1-0. Back in a moment on Cougar Broadcasting. Mrs. Pat and her fine crew, headed by Big T over at Master Lube Pennzoil of Grants Ferry Road, are celebrating 20 years of automotive service to the reservoir area. Master Lube was the first quick lube in the area, and special in the fact that it's owned and operated by a lady who is a real fanatic on customer service. In addition to all those great Pennzoil products, they also have a full-time mechanic on duty and a full-service car wash detail shop. Stop by today and ask for Mrs. Pat or Big T, and they'll show you what real automotive service is all about. Feel the clean. Pennzoil clean. Go Cougars!
I know. Mind-blowing deals as advertised.
Is the decimal point in the right place?
Let me talk to the head honcho. See if I can't get that price knocked in. We rearranged some details I don't trust you to understand, and I can do $275. But that's my rock bottom deal.
You wouldn't put up with this at a restaurant. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball. Going top of the second. Leading off for Brandon, first baseman number 23, Cannon Harvey. Harvey, the number 6 hole hitter, hitting a .194. He's got a home run, 6 RBI. Ramsey's first pitch is fouled off right side and out of play. No balls, 1 strike to count to Harvey. First baseman for the Bulldogs. That pitch on the inside corner for a call strike. Quickly ahead in the count. 0-2 is Ramsey to Harvey. 6, 7, 8 in the order. Harvey, Tigert, and Tigert for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball down and away. Case Garner corrals it, calls it inside. Hart steps inside of the bag, and he'll throw him out. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Sounded like a law firm you just called out there in your batting order. I don't know why I thought about that, but
now batting designated hitter number 16, Gentry Tigert. Harvey Tigert and Tigert. That's it.
I thought I was going to get sued here for a minute, man, by the law firm.
First pitch, a call strike. No balls, 1 strike to count to the first of the 2 Tigers coming up. Tristan and Gentry. Good breaking ball by Ramsey in for a call strike.
It just froze the batter. Ball just late break, broke across the outside corner for a strike 2.
Now the 0-2 pitch, fastball away. Good pitch, missed the strike zone, but that's what you do on 0-2, especially at the high school level. You get a batter to chase a whole lot of those. Now the 1-2, he'll come back probably with him, maybe on the inside part of the plate. That's where Garner's setting up. And that's where he comes a little up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
Usually there you're going to push him back off the plate, and then if you're going to take the 2-2 pitch, you're going to take the opportunity to probably try to go curveball away.
2-2 pitch, swinging a breaking ball down in the dirt. Garner once again picks it up, tosses it down to Chris Hart to complete the out.
It's a good job of pitching there by Ramsey. Push him off the plate because he was trying to guard that plate just a little bit, get up tight on that inside corner, pushed him back, and then went away from him. That's some good, smart pitching there.
Now batting designated hitter number 16, Gentry Tiger. So now Gentry Tiger sets up with 2 outs. Nobody on. First pitch to him goes over his head, almost hit his barrel of his bat. And that's something that you see so much at this level. When those pitches go like that, players don't learn to drop that bat. And I've seen how many times that a ball hits that bat behind his head, it's foul ball. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for a call strike. One thing I did notice pregame that we are going with a 3-man crew, which is unusual. Most of the time in high school we do a 2-man crew with the exception of region games. 1-1 pitch. Fastball just misses low.
So did they get the third guy for free just because he wanted to come watch a little baseball?
Is that what happened? That's very possible that 2 of them said, hey, I'll come. And, hey, can I come?
Yeah.
I'm sure McClaskey and Hester talked, and, of course, the home team pays for that. Breaking ball, great pitch. Inside part of the plate, call strike. But just know that the importance of this game, because it's a big rivalry and the crowds and what you're going to have, go ahead and put the 3 men out there, pay a little extra. 2-2 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Bulldogs leading 1-0. And we'll take 60 seconds and be back on Cougar Broadcasting.
Hey, Brett.
You made it.
Yeah.
Hey, my old receivers, Mark and Antonio, they want to hear more about favorites.
Oh, right. Well, with Farm Bureau favorites, you get a great auto quote plus local agents and fast, friendly claims.
Nice. Hey.
Should we warn them?
Well, that's broken.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sorry.
Totally worth it.
I'll take one of those shovels.
Oh, those shovels are lease only.
But I just want to dig a hole.
Well, I can sell you the sweet, sporty, compact model for cash.
You wouldn't put up with this at a hardware store. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We're going to the bottom half of the second, 1-0, as Garrett Ramsey does his best JT Ginn impression. Strikes out the side, the top half of the second against the Bulldogs. Good job of pitching in that half of the inning for Garrett Ramsey.
He did do a really good job. Breaking ball working, a lot of late movement with the breaking ball, moving the fastball in and out and up, and keeping the hitters guessing. Now the offense has got to figure out how they can push a run or two across against what we said off the air a little bit ago, a pretty dominant pitcher.
Now batting for the Cougars, designated hitter number 36, Nick Hogan. For the Cougars, 4-5-6, Nick Hogan, Justin Johnson, Gridley Thomason. If one of those should reach, Case Garners. They will face JT Ginn. You talked about pitch counts. So we want to get his pitch count up. Well, the first inning, he only threw 9 pitches to get his 3 outs. See what he does at this point. First pitch to Hogan. He comes inside for a call strike. No balls, 1 strike to count.
And if you're going to throw Hogan a fastball, that's where you have to throw it.
Don't let him extend those arms.
Absolutely.
Now the 0-1 delivery. His catcher's going to set up away. And he throws it down and away. Breaking ball looked like just missed. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hogan, right-hander, big one, swings and misses. I think an off-speed, Jay.
It was off-speed. I believe it was up and out of the strike zone as well.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Swings and misses at a pitch inside. And he'll go down on strikes.
That's the same place he threw the fastball on the first pitch, right in on his hands, and just no contact at all.
Now batting left field, number 22, Justin Johnson.
Now Justin Johnson steps up. Takes a called strike on the first pitch. No balls, 1 strike to count to Justin. Justin hitting .267, struggled a little bit at times. Now the 0-1 delivery. Got a little gift on that one. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. Jay, can an umpire get caught up in the heat of the moment and the excitement and the?
Oh yeah,
with a pitcher like Ginn.
Oh yeah, it's there's a good chance he makes the strike zone just a tad bigger because of the guy that he knows out there. Doesn't want to upset him. Wants to be a good friend to him, especially if he makes it big down the line.
Justin Johnson gets one to pass the second baseman for a base hit into right center field. Looked like a hanger just a little bit, and he was able to poke it out there.
But it was a good, short little swing. He did not try to big, full cut like Hogan tried to do. He just took the nice, short little cut, put the ball in play, hit it hard, and right by the second baseman.
Now batting third baseman, number 1, Bridley Thomas. You know, you think about it, and of course I think back into the day of the great pitching staff of the Atlanta Braves. Some of those guys, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux didn't have great speed, but had tremendous control, and many a hitter knew Maddux was going to get some calls. Nobody else got.
Absolutely.
Because the umpires knew how good he was at painting the black, the corner. And so he would get some 1-2 inches off the plate just because, Maddux ain't going to miss that pitch. So it must have been a strike. 1-0 pitch. Fastball right at the knees, call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
This kid's a senior. He's worked hard to get to where he is. So most everybody in high school baseball, they know who he is. Even the umpires know who he is.
Oh, yeah. Throws over to first, and Justin almost got picked off on that one. That was a good quick move.
And a 95-mile-an-hour fastball over to the first baseman. Man, that ball got over there in a hurry.
How'd you like to be the first baseman having to catch that?
No, thank you.
That's a lot shorter distance.
It is.
1-1 pitch. Again from the stretch. Taking a long look. Now delivers. Swings and misses, does Bridley Thomas.
DP, this reminds me a little bit of when I played high school back a long time ago. Maybe some of our older listeners will remember the name. Ben McDonald, who was an All-American at LSU, played for the Milwaukee Brewers and Baltimore Orioles. And Ben and I grew up about 5 miles apart.
Ow.
Oh, wow.
Johnson was going on the pitch,
Yes,
and Bridley Thomas came up and in on him, hit him on the left arm. And
that hurts.
He's at the elbow arm area. He's gone on past the bag, and he is in some pain. I couldn't tell if that was his fastball or not, but it was fast enough, and that's going to smart.
Yeah.
And now Darryl, the trainer, is going to come out and check on him, and he's looking right up around the elbow area. Luckily, it's his fielding hand, not his throwing hand. He's the shortstop for the Cougars. And he's going to have to walk that one off a minute. And while he does, you can finish talking about Ben McDonald. So, in other words, a similar situation.
Yeah,
Northwest Rankin Brandon.
It was very, very close rivals. Yep. We didn't like each other. Denham Springs High School, Walker High School. We didn't like each other. But through the years, Ben's several years younger than I. But he had this kind of talent. He could throw the ball mid-90s. Had 3 or 4 pitches that even in high school he could control. If you're a good high school pitcher, if you can control 2 pitches and throw them across the plate, you're really good. If you have 4, you can be dominant. But it was just go try to make a play, put the ball in play somewhere, because he just throws it so hard, and just split second is how much time you have to determine whether it's a ball or a strike.
Now Case Garner will try to do that with runners at first and second. Bridley Thomas said he's okay. He stays in the game. And, Jay, this is exactly what you said during the pregame. is get Ginn throwing some pitches.
Definitely.
He had 9 in the first inning. He's up to 27, so he's already thrown 18 this inning, and he's only got 1 out and he's got 2 on.
And he's battled a little bit more since he's been in the stretch with runners on base.
1 ball, no strikes to count now to Case Garner. Catches the outside part of the plate for a call strike.
But I always took it as, man, this is a great opportunity against a great pitcher. And that's the kind of the mentality. You can't think about, this guy throws 95. He's got 3 or 4 pitches that he can command. He's just dominant. All the newspapers are talking about him. He's just awesome.
Runners go. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, no, he said foul ball. I thought I heard a tick, but I wasn't sure. But
I think so.
It was a foul ball. Both runners had great jumps, but they'll have to go back to the bag. Coach McClaskey trying to make some things happen. You get somebody on base against JT, you got to try to capitalize on it. You can't take it. Don't want to leave them sitting there.
Definitely.
And got some good speed with Justin Johnson and Bridley Thomas on the pass. Justin 3 for 3, Bridley 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Catcher is going to go out as Blakely is going to have a little conversation with Ginn. And it may have been, hey, look, don't forget that base runner.
Right.
Don't let him get that jump again because I couldn't have got him. He was safe. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Case Garner to plate. Logan Stewart on deck. Case trying to put something in place, see if the Cougars can try to manufacture a run and tie this game up, trailing 1-0 here in the bottom half of the second. Now again steps off, and Blakely's going to go out and talk to him. They may have some issue with the signs. I do know this. The Cougars are historically famous, notorious, I'll call it, for stealing signs. And anybody that's played them very much know that they have kids in the dugout that's all they do the whole game is see if they can pick up the signs.
Well, and the runner at second base is looking right into the catcher. So I'm sure that he is trying to pick up something as well.
Now they're back ready to go with a 1-2 count. Again, taking a long time. Garner ready. Again, looks back at second. If I'm Garner, I call timeout. He doesn't. He swings and check swing, fouls it right up above the first base dugout.
And catcher has to be aware of that, too, that, a lot of times he'll move to the either outside or inside part of the plate. That runner at second base has got a signal back to that guy that's batting, whether he's going away from you or he's coming inside of you. So there may be some subtle sign that they have worked out as a team of where that catcher sets up, and he's setting up early. See, he's already out to the outside part of the plate.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball up and away for a ball. Catcher tried to frame it for him, but he just couldn't get it there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Yeah, we had an interesting this week down on the coast, a team that their pitching signs, the coach was giving it by where he put his hand on the fungo.
Huh. Interesting.
Had 3 different strips of tape on the fungo where
right.
he put his hand at different points is how he determined the pitch he was called to his batter.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That, and then you've got the wristband thing going on.
Oh yeah, calling the numbers out.
I'm old school, man. Let's just go back to the old school way of doing it.
We use the wristband with the numbers for the pitches and some of the plays on the infield. McClaskey, though, for the base runners and hitters, he's old school. He still moves his hands like he's been in an ant bed. 2-2 pitch. Again, long look back at second. Runner goes. Pitch is called strike 3, but a safe on double steal. That pitch may have been off the plate. Case is asking the umpire, but he's not going to get the call. It'll be a call strike 3, but both runners will advance on the double steal. Now, Coach Stacy Hester is going to say something. He's going to talk to his catcher. Did he hit his?
I think he took the ball off of his hand earlier.
On his throw, did he hit the batter with his throw?
That may have been what happened, but it looked to me like earlier in the at-bat on one of the lower pitches, he took a ball off the hand.
Of course, if he hits him with the batter in the batter's box still, that's fine.
Right.
Now, the batter can't be out of the box.
What they seem to be arguing, though, is the batter kind of fell across home plate. And I think they were wanting batter interference, but the umpire behind the plate was not having any of that. Big opportunity here, though. 2 out, runners at second and third.
Now batting shortstop, number 4, Logan Stewart. So now Logan Stewart steps up, hitting .241. Probably one of the fiercest competitors on this team for the Cougars. He's one of those, he can't sit still in the dugout. He's just always moving around, going and doing, and he's one that you ask the coach who's one of his team leaders, and Logan's in the conversation. And so this will be a great opportunity for him to step up and get something through the infield and try to get a run or two in right here against JT Ginn. 1-0 the count. Takes it outside, ball 2. I like what the catcher's doing, but you got to be careful how much you do it. You'll end up showing up an umpire, but the catcher's a good one. Will frame it, we call it. He'll move that mitt an inch or two very quickly after he makes that catch. Don't move your body. You got to keep your body perfectly still and just use the mitt. And you can a lot of times steal a pitch. Good job by Logan Stewart. Is again taking a long time, so Logan requests and is granted timeout by the home plate umpire.
I'm looking at the Game Changer app right now. 34 pitches total. Had 9, I believe it was, in the first inning. So he is mounting up the pitches here in inning number 2.
This next pitch will match the number of Garrett Ramsey at 35 through 2 innings of work. Now the 2-0 pitch. Swings and misses at a good fastball. Good cut by Stewart, but he just wasn't able to catch up with that one. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And if I'm Ginn and I'm Coach Hester, I mean that's what you guys bread and butter is in high school. Quit playing around. If you can throw it mid-90s, throw it, and if you can hit it, hit it.
Yeah, throw down the old number 1 and go.
I mean, I got the number 8 hitter in the order. 2-1 pitch. That's what he comes right back with. I don't know. That may be a little off of that one. Swing and a miss, nonetheless. At first, I thought it was the fastball, but thrown it. Now 2-2 pitch. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Grounder, chopper high in the air. Good chance for Logan. Shortstop can't make the play, and the Cougars get a run.
That's a great job of just putting the ball in play. High up over the pitcher's head. Shortstop couldn't handle it, make the throw over to first base. Cougars tied up at 1, runners at first and third.
And that's going to be a single for Logan Stewart. Scores that run. And ties up at 1. 2 hits now for the Cougars. Now batting center fielder, number 9, Dalton Rogers. Good job by Logan Stewart to hang in there and make that happen. Now Rogers steps into batter's box with the runners at first and third. 2 outs. Runner's going to fake go. Is not going anywhere. Pitch is high and away for a ball. I wouldn't put it past McClaskey with 2 outs to try something here to see if he can get the Bulldog defense to make a mistake. Of course, Bulldogs, Stacey Hester's Brandon team, a lot like McClaskey. They're very disciplined defensively. You don't count on him making that mistake because they're well coached. Now the 1-0 pitch. Stewart's going to take off, pitches up and in. They're going to let him go. Of course, Stacey Hester, many people may remember, longtime coach from New Hope. Won, I don't know how many state titles at New Hope, but won a few up there. Now, once again, Blakely wants to go out to the pitcher's mound.
He's going to wear a dirt path out there between home plate and the pitcher's mound. That's about 5 visits this half inning. Looks like he's getting tired.
Might be. A long inning again. This is 30 pitches now thrown in this inning for Ginn. And he's got a 2-0 count to Dalton Rogers, number 9 hitter, top of the order, on deck. Now the 2-0 pitch. Misses inside, ball 3. Great discipline by Rogers to force him now to come in with a strike. I'm sure Coach McClaskey will have the take sign on. Now the 3-0 delivery. High. Ooh. Yeah. I don't like getting on umps, and I'm not going to. Strike 1.
We'll just let the fans do it. They did it for us.
3 balls, 1 strike to count. Catcher setting up inside. Pitch comes outside. Doesn't get the call. And he'll take his base. Now batting second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. Bases full of Cougars. Top of the order coming up. And now we start the second time through the order for the Cougars. And how important is that now, Jay? You come up the second time.
You've seen him once. You know what his fastball looks like. You know what his breaking pitches look like. So you do your best here just to continue to put the ball in play. That's what's happened here in this inning. And Coach Hester headed to the mound.
Well, he knows his pitchers now. He's thrown, 9. He's got 42. So what's that, 33 pitches this inning?
Yes.
And so he said that's a lot of pitchers from a pitcher.
It is.
He's not where he's supposed to be, and now they got bases loaded, top of the order coming up. And same as we just said, it's the second time through. And we've proven we can hit the guy. We put some balls in play. We've got a ground out in the first inning. Now we've gotten 2 singles in this inning. And so all of a sudden your hitters can start gaining a little bit of confidence. And, you know, in baseball, how big that confidence factor can be when you step in the batter's box.
It is, especially if you swung and missed a bunch on your first at-bat, and then you've watched several guys at least put the ball in play, foul him off a little bit. That makes you feel a little bit better about round 2. So here they go, starting the second time around through the batting order. Bases loaded, 2 out. Put the ball in play here and make them make a play.
You know, you might say there might be just a tad bit of kryptonite in Superman right now.
Just a little bit.
I'm sure Coach Hester has gotten out there and gotten his man back where he wants him. Let's see what he does with the first pitch to Reed Trimble. Fouled off, left side and out of play. Now the 0-1 pitch. Reed steps out. And I'm going to do that now. If I'm a hitter, too, I want to do whatever I can to throw Ginn off his timing. Low and away for a ball. 1 strike to count. With bases loaded, 2 outs, Ginn is elected to work from the windup as opposed to the stretch. Nice steps off. Little cat and mouse going on. Trimble crowding the plate as well. He's not giving him any room on the inside part of the plate. Takes it low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
It's interesting to me, as dominant as his fastball is, he's throwing more changeups and curveballs, and they're all out of the zone right now.
You wonder.
I wonder if they're overthinking themselves just a little bit.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Left-handed hitting second baseman for the Cougars. Inside, ball 3, almost hit him. That was the fastball. And a lot of times, Coach says, stand there and let it hit you. I don't know that I want his fastball to hit me.
I don't know about that. If I got some armor on, maybe. He's Ginn's upset right now. He wanted that pitch, thought it was across the inside part of the plate. You can see him just pounding his glove after that pitch was called a ball.
And that's one, if Trimble's not crowding the plate, he might get the call.
Agree.
But Trimble's taking away that inside corner from him. Now the 3-1 pitch. Catcher sets up out, and he comes back in, calls strike at the knees on the inside part of the plate. Now we'll put the carousel in motion. Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count to Reed Trimble. Standing on deck is Chris Hart, hoping to get an at-bat here in the bottom of the second. Because if he does, that means the Cougars will have taken a lead. Now the 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Check swing, went too far. I think it might have been ball 4, but he could not hold his swing up. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on base after 2 complete. We're tied at 1. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
Hey, Brett.
You made it.
Yeah.
Hey, my old receivers, Mark and Antonio, they want to hear more about favorites.
Oh, right. Well, with Farm Bureau favorites, you get a great auto quote, plus local agents and fast, friendly claims.
Nice.
Hey.
Should we warn them?
Oh, that's broken.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sorry.
Totally worth it.
You made a promise to work, to lend a hand, to push, to build, to invest yourself, to make a difference. You made a promise, and so did we. To Mississippi, to each other. Bank Plus, it's more than a name, it's a promise.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball on Cougar Broadcasting. I'm DP. Jay Fletcher joining me to my left as my expert color analyst as we go to the top of the third of a 1-1 ball game. Leading off the top of the third, shortstop number 20, Andrew Jones. Popped up, foul. It's going to get out of play. I didn't see if he threw a pitch, did he?
He did. It was a ball low.
Okay, so 1 ball, 1 strike to count. That one's outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
2 straight breaking balls out of the zone.
Another one out of the zone. You get a 0-1 count. You got to come back and challenge him a bit. You got the number 9 hitter in the order. Andrew Jones hitting 200. Now the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and that's what you don't want to do. Your team gives you a run. Granted, it's not a lead, but they give you a run, and then immediately you walk the first batter you face, and especially the number 9 hitter in the order. Now batting pitcher number 3, J.T. Ginn. Ginn steps in, walked his last trip. Takes a breaking ball, just misses the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to count.
He was trying to work that inside corner with a breaking pitch and hung just a little bit inside, but almost a strike there on the first pitch to Ginn. Good fastball right on the inside corner, 1-1. I think Ginn was expecting a curveball there, got the fastball out across the outside part of the plate. He's down 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ginn. Walked his first trip. Jones at first. They're going to throw over to try to keep him close.
Wow.
Just missed. And the fans, the Cougar fans especially, want to know where that one was because they thought he might have got him.
Again, was completely fooled on it. It was a late breaking curveball that looked like it caught the inside part of the plate, but instead it was called a ball, and it's 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fisted to the right side. It's going to be a tough play. Ramsey's going to get it underhanded to the pitcher. The first baseman to get the out. And that'll be out on the 1-3 put out. Jones will advance to second, but they do get Ginn out this time.
That's some solid pitching by Ramsey to a really good hitter. We mentioned he came in tonight hitting .552, walked in his first plate appearance, but pitcher just dominated that at bat.
Now batting second baseman number 1, Kyle Reed. So now with 1 out and a runner at second, Reed will step up. He walked his first trip. Takes that one on the inside, off the inside part of the plate, 1-0. And Jay and I both agree that maybe his walk was residual from the first at bat to Ginn. Just wasn't settled back in. hopefully he'll settle in here and throw some strikes. Top of the third inning, 1-1 the score. Now the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Good pitch that time.
I was going to tell everybody watching, they ought to come on out here and watch the game live, but I don't think there's any place for them to sit. So this place is packed.
And, you know, Cougars' #1 fans not here tonight. 1-1 pitch, showed bunt, missed it. Strike 2.
And where's the #1 fan tonight?
He chose to go to Starkville and watch the Mississippi State Bulldog women play basketball tonight.
Decisions.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. But I understand.
I will harass him still, though.
Of course.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Reed. Runner down at second base is Jones. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Got him, strike 3. Good pitch by Ramsey.
Definitely a good pitch. Snapped off that curveball over the outside corner, and he was fishing.
Now batting right field #7, Garrett Stanford.
So now Stanford steps in. He grounded out to second baseman Reed Trimble his first trip on a slow roller that Reed had to hustle and underhand it, and almost didn't get enough on it. As you pointed out, a good play by Chris Hart to complete the out. But he'll bat with 2 outs and a runner down at second base. Good pitch outside part of the plate for a called strike. And this would be a big out to get for Garrett after walking the leadoff man, the #9 hitter. If he could strand him down at second base, go ahead and get out of his inning and go to the fourth, go to the bottom of the half, the third, still 1-1, I think he'd be happy. Up and away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
And you could just tell on that fastball, he tried to overthrow that. He was trying to light up a radar gun on that one.
That pitch misses low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
Garner, such a good defensive catcher. That ball hit right at the plate. Good job of just kind of laying himself out to keep that ball in front of him.
And Case does do a real good job defensively behind the plate, keeping things blocked up. And it's got a really good arm.
And it gives a pitcher so much confidence when they know that catcher is just a backstop back there.
3 balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch, fouled off right side, out of play.
Off the pole.
Case had one down on the coast this weekend that pitch got away from him a little bit, about halfway between the plate and the backstop. And runner took off from first, and he was able to retrieve it and throw the runner out before he could get to second base. Just threw a missile down there to Logan Stewart covering the bag at second. Full count pitch, 2 outs, runner down at second base. Garrett looks back, now delivers. Turns around, looks, and pushes the runner back. Now Garrett ready once again. Stanford awaits. Bouncing way off the plate. It'll be a walk, but another great job by Case to block that up and prevent that runner from advancing from second to third, because that had wild pitch written all over it.
It did. That ball bounced in the first base batter's box, that side. That ball could have easily gotten to the backstop, runner go to third, but he did a good job of just laying out, keeping that one right there in front of him.
Coach Stacy Hester wants to talk to his center fielder, DJ Walker. So while he does that, Case will walk out and talk to his pitcher, Garrett Ramsey, figure out who's going to do what. Walker struck out looking his last trip to the plate. Now he bats. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, top of the third of a tie ball game. Garrett now at 55 pitches. First pitch misses outside for a ball. Good looking fastball, just missed off the plate though.
All of a sudden, he's battling his command just a little bit.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Misses down for a ball. Again, a good job by Case to keep it blocked up. 2-0 the count. right, let's go back to your battles with Ben McDonald.
Yeah.
Did you hit against him?
I did.
Did you hit him?
I did. Not consistently, but
Okay.
nobody did.
Okay.
My mentality was I had a pretty short stroke anyway. My thought was do the very best that I possibly could to put the ball in play.
Right.
And of all the years that I played against him, whether it was AAU ball or high school ball, whatever that was, I think he only struck me out a couple of times.
Okay.
But, I didn't have a very high batting average against him. Nobody did. But I always felt like it was a success if I could put the ball in play somewhere against him.
And that, Jay, is a great mindset. And
It is.
And I hope that's what kind of coaches told these guys today with a guy like Ginn. You don't always have the control of where you hit it against a guy that can throw it mid-90s. But you got to hit it. You got to put it in play, and then good things can happen. That one's fouled off as Garrett has battled from a 3-0 count. Now he's got him down to full count.
Well, everybody knew LSU's looking at him. Every SEC school is looking at him. He's got prospects of going to the major leagues. Could have left high school and went straight there, but really wanted to play both basketball and baseball at LSU. Wanted to do that and then went professional. So he was one of those guys that you knew he was dominant, and if he could get in your head quickly, he had you for the rest of the time.
Yep. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Good job by Garrett Ramsey that time to try to stop the merry-go-round by putting a little fake pick move back at second base. Now the 3-2 pitch. Runners go outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. 3rd walk of the inning. And that's not what you want to do in a game and a team against a team like Brandon. You got to put the ball in there and make the hitters hit. Now batting catcher number 6, Reed Blakely.
And to finish off that thought about Ben is 6'7".
Yeah.
So, he's got basketball size, and by the time, he stretches out, he's standing pretty close to home plate when he releases the ball anyway. So it was intimidating hitting against a guy that throws the ball that hard.
Ramsey had struck out 5 consecutive batters, ending the first inning and through the second inning. And now he's walked a couple and hit one in the head as that pitch comes up and in. Breaking ball hung and hit Blakely in the helmet. So he'll take his base on the hit by pitch. And this is what Coach McClaskey, he says is going to give him a heart attack. And it's really struggling because you've got a good inning. You do walk the leadoff hitter, but then you get a ground out back to the pitcher and a strikeout. So now you got 2 outs and 1 on, and then you do walk, hit batter. And all of a sudden you've lost the lead and you've still got bases loaded. And that's what he struggled with this season with his team because Ramsey had struck out the final 2 outs of the first on the 4-5 hitter, and then struck out the side 6, 7, 8 hitters in the second before this inning.
Yeah, and it's just losing focus is all it is because he can't get any pitch across the plate. His slower stuff, his fastball can't even touch anywhere near the plate. And that one you could see it was an attempt to snap off a curveball across the inside part of the plate. But he didn't get any snap in that wrist at all, and that one just kind of hung up there and hit the batter in the helmet.
And we are going to get a runner for Blakely. That's the catcher. It's going to be number 21 is going to come in and run. That is Holden Sumrall. Courtesy runner number 21, Holden Sumrall. So Blakely will get a chance to go back to the dugout and kind of regroup. He was the catcher. Coach Hester's talking to him. Not sure where he's going right now. No, the trainer's going to come talk to him. It looked like he hit his helmet, the back of his helmet. Looked like he turned away from it.
And it looked like the helmet was a little big on him, and it looked like it spun the helmet maybe into the side of his mouth a little bit. I see him, you hate to say it, but spitting like he's got maybe blood in his mouth or something like that.
Well, and I wonder, in football they've come up with so strict on these concussion rules.
Right.
Do they have the same thing through sports?
If not, they ought to.
And I wonder, does he need to have some protocol that he needs for his safety?
Right.
Now batting first baseman number 23, Cannon Harvey. So now once again the Bulldogs take the 1-run lead, 2-1. We're in the top of the third, 2 outs. There's a high chopper. Ridley Thomas is going to field it. Quick play, throws it, and double clutch, still got him. When he tried to do it the first time, I don't think he had the handle. That's not Brittany. That's Logan Stewart, excuse me. But he does make the play to get the third and final out. 1 run on no hits, no errors. 3 left on base. We play 2.5. Bulldogs lead 2-1. Back in 60
Let's
seconds.
face it, you aren't just a man or just a woman. You are athletes. You aren't just athletes. You're a team. You're more than just a team. You're a family. We've got you covered.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball on Cougar Broadcasting. It appears that they may have taken Blakely out of the game. I only hope he's okay. I mean, that's my number one concern, is that you never want to see somebody get hurt, especially nothing serious. It appears, nope, he's coming. He's getting his gear on. So he is going to stay in the game. And again, I hope he's okay. It's competition and rivals and all that, but you know deep down nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. So again, still on the mound, going to the bottom of the third. Brandon yet to record a hit, but yet they scored 2 runs. Ramsey struck out 6, but the problem is he's walked 5 and hit a batter. And that combination's not good through 3 innings of work. Now we're ready to go here in the bottom half of the third. Now batting for the Cougars, first baseman, number 5, Chris Hart. Chris grounded out to shortstop his first at bat. Batting with 1 out in the first. Now he leads off here in the third. Cougars are trying to figure out how to manufacture another run. That one's well outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Now the 1-0 pitch. Misses high for a ball. I did notice, and still throwing in the Cougar bullpen, I believe that's Connor Steck. Lefty up throwing for the Cougars. Two-0 pitch. Strike about number high at the top half of the zone anyway. Or top 5th of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Now the pitch from Ginn. Chopped foul. Hart fights it off. Be Chris Hart, Landon Tompkins, Nick Hogan. If one of those should reach, Justin Johnson due up for the Cougars. I had seen on the weather reports earlier the wind was supposed to die down as the night going on. The flag that was standing pretty much straight out from right to left earlier is pretty much hanging limp by the pole now. A little bit of whisper of a wind blowing through it as it's wrapped around the pole, but nothing like what we had at game time. That breaking ball misses down. Count goes full to Chris Hart.
Well, Blakely's taking a beating here tonight. If he's not getting hit in the head with a curveball that didn't break, he just took, I think he was a little confused on the pitch. He threw fastball. I think he was looking for a curveball, and that hit him on the shoulder.
Now the 3-2 pitch from Ginn. He sets up outside. Pitch goes there, and Hart fouls it off. Good job of hitting by Hart to foul that pitch off.
And that was a good pitcher's pitch. That was across the outside part of the plate. You got to protect the plate with a full count. Good job of putting the bat on the ball, even though he fouled it off.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Again, they're shading him to right. They're shading him to go away. And he foul tips that one. Another good job of getting a piece of it, just staying alive.
Notice how short his stroke is, though. It's not that big, long cut. It's just a good short cut at it, just trying to put the ball in play.
If he were to be able to get around on one, left field line's wide open.
It is.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Takes it low for ball 4.
That is a really good at bat by Hart.
Saw 8 pitches, which is what you want to do if you're a Cougar hitter now. Force him to move up. He's at 56 pitches now. Now batting right fielder, number 33, Landon Tompkins. So you want some what coaches call quality at bats, and the quality at bat doesn't mean you got to get a hit. Doesn't mean you got to get on. You force a pitcher to throw 8 or more pitches, and you can be deemed a quality at bat just because you work that pitcher, get his pitch count up. Now first pitch, chopper to the right side, slow roller. Second baseman's going to underhand it to second. He drops it, but probably on the transfer. Oh, they calling him safe.
Calling him safe.
Coach Hester's going to probably question that one. I thought he might give him the out and did the transfer.
His explanation was he just made he was bobbling it sign. Shortstop Jones asked about that. That was the explanation he received.
And that's going to be the call. Hester's going back to the dugout. It's going to be a fielder's choice. He still won't get to base hit. But it'll be a fielder's choice for Tompkins. Nick Hogan will step to the plate with 2 on, nobody out.
And I know we've made a big deal about it, but all he did there was put the ball in play. And that's a good at bat there, just to put the ball in play. Make this defense play behind this dominant pitcher.
Actually, I guess need to put an error on Brandon on that one. So it is a fielder's choice error, so that is an error against the Bulldogs. Nick chops that one. No balls, 1 strike to count. Again, turns, throws back there, and nobody was covering. Luckily, he didn't throw it to the wrong spot with nobody covering.
A couple of the scouts headed out.
They've seen what they came to see. And that's it. The scouts don't have to watch a whole game.
No, they don't.
They'll watch a little bit of it and say, okay, that's what I need to see. I know what he's got.
Radar guns out. They had video cameras out. They got everything they needed.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 strikes now to Hogan, isn't it? No, there's just 1 strike. He did go around on that one, so now it is 2 strikes. Tried to check his swing on an inside fastball. Couldn't do it. Great opportunity for the Cougars. 2 on, nobody out. Here's some activity now down in the Brandon bullpen. This will be Ginn's 60th pitch. Again, looks long back at second, now delivers. Hogan swings and misses at a breaking ball down and away for strike 3. And that's where Nick struggled a bit of late, is those pitches down and in, down and away, anywhere down but breaking, just having trouble catching up and finding it.
Well, he set him up with the second strike, came right onto his fingertips, and no way he's going to even put that in play at all. And then he sets him up, goes out and away from him, and he's just kind of waving at a pitch that's out of the zone for strike 3.
Justin Johnson singled with 1 out in the second, scored the lone run for the Cougars. Again, they're playing him to go opposite field. They're shading him well to the right. Right fielder pretty close to his normal position. Center fielder definitely playing towards right center. And the left fielder playing in left center. So if Justin were able to get the bat around on one, Cougars could definitely get 1 run, possibly a couple. Outfield's still wet from all the rain. It's in great shape. Runners go. Ground ball towards the shortstop. He's going to pick it up off the fist handle of the bat, so no play anywhere but to first. And it was funny watching the umpire trying to get out of the way of the ball.
I was going to say, you're going to have to give him the MVP award for tonight. That ball was a cue shot right at the shortstop, which is where he was waiting to make that call right in behind the pitcher's mound. He literally hurdled the ball, and the shortstop had to do a good job of keeping his focus and making the throw across the diamond. But, yeah, there's your MVP right there. It's the umpire that's calling it second base right now.
You know, if I'm the Russian judge in the gymnastics, I'm giving him a 9.5.
And I'll go 9.6.
There
How about
you go.
that? He did. It wasn't a 10, but it was close.
Well, the problem was, as you mentioned, the cue ball effect is he jumped knowing the ball was coming at him, but the ball wasn't there yet.
Exactly.
And so he had to make another move to get out of the way.
That's where I wish we had instant replay. We could draw that in there and just watch that over and over and over again. It sounded like it was hit really hard.
1-0 count. In at the knees for a call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Bridley Thomas. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Cougars trying to capitalize and get another run across against JT Ginn. 63 pitches now for Ginn. That one's down and away for a ball. That 63 matched the number by Garrett Ramsey through 3 innings, but Ginn is not out of the inning yet, so he will have more than Ramsey through 3. I can't see the number of the guy warming up in the Brandon bullpen. Turns around in the right direction with his back to us. Maybe we'll try to pick it up for you. He stopped throwing for a moment. 2-1 pitch. Inside corner for a call strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
It's number 32, Jack Hilton.
Okay. Warming up for Brandon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Brandon with a 2-1 lead. Bridley Thomas at the plate. Trying to be a hero and put in place. He got hit last at bat. Up around the elbow of his left arm. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swings and misses at a good hard inside fastball. Nothing he can do with that one. But go down on strikes. No runs on no hits. 1 error. 2 left on base. We played 3. Bulldogs lead 2-1. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting. Mrs. Pat and her fine crew, headed by Big T over at Master Lube Pennzoil on Grants Ferry Road, are celebrating 20 years of automotive service to the reservoir area. Master Lube was the first quick lube in the area, and special in the fact that it's owned and operated by a lady who is a real fanatic on customer service. In addition to all those great Pennzoil products, they also have a full-time mechanic on duty and a full-service car wash detail shop. Stop by today and ask for Mrs. Pat or Big T, and they'll show you what real automotive service is all about. Feel the clean. Pennzoil clean. Go Cougars.
Hey, Brett.
You made it.
Yeah.
Hey, Mole receivers, Mark and Antonio, they want to hear more about favorites.
Oh, right. Well, with Farm Bureau favorites, you get a great auto quote, plus local agents and fast, friendly claims.
Nice.
Hey.
Should we warn them?
Oh, that's broken.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sorry.
Totally worth it.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We go to the top of the 4th. Brandon leading Northwest Rankin 2-1. Interesting conversation going on in front of the third base dugout, the Brandon dugout. Of course, JT Ginn, through 3 innings of work, is giving up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He's hit a batter. 66 pitches, 40 of those for strikes. And having a conversation with a former Cougar great, Southern Miss great, Todd McKinnis is now a coach for the Brandon Bulldogs, and down there having a conversation with his pitcher, JT Ginn, figuring out what's going on, what they're going to do next. Leading off the top of the 4th for the Bulldogs, third baseman number 8, Tristan Tigert.
You have to believe he's on a pitch count somewhere, and it'd be interesting to see and know what that number might be.
Also see our district attorney and congressional candidate. There's a well-hit ball in the center field. On the run for it is Dalton Rogers. It's going to one-hop to the wall. Tiger's going to round first, head to second. He'll stand up, slide in a second with a first pitch leadoff double. here in the top half of the fourth, and that's the first hit of the night for the Brandon Bulldogs.
Well, he guessed fastball, and it was right across the inside part of the plate. He ripped it over the center fielder Rogers' head all the way to the wall into the Farm Bureau insurance sign for a double.
And now Coach Hester's going to talk to Gentry Tigert before he steps into the batter's box, as they've got the leadoff runner down at second base with nobody out. Now batting designated hitter number 16, Gentry Tigert. Ramsey will work from the stretch. Breaking ball. Had Tigert dodging it, but it broke in, almost caught the edge of the plate, but just misses inside.
Ramsey wanted that.
Now 1-0 count. Ramsey looks back at second, now delivers. Comes back with the exact same pitch, and this time gets the call on the inside part of the plate. One ball, one strike to count.
Pretty close to the same location, and it was a ball the first time, a strike the second time, so they're even now.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, swings and misses, and throw down Case Garner. Good job of Logan Stewart getting there. Garner says, hey, I'm going to throw it. You better get there to get it. As the runner got a little too far off the bag, and Case is not scared to throw it. He's got a lot of confidence in his arm, and I love that in a catcher.
Absolutely, and he needs to thank his shortstop who just saved him from allowing that runner to get to third base. That was a great job of laying out and making the play.
You say that, but also Dalton Rogers was almost there to pick it up if he wasn't. So he might have been out if he tried to get to third. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, call, strike three, came back with it on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, that was a pretty pitch. I think the batter there's guessing something away, maybe a fastball away, but he comes back right in on his hands again with the curveball, strikes him out for the first out of the inning.
And that's one thing I will say about this Cougar team. When they got their head screwed on straight, they're well coached.
Yes.
And, the coach do a really good job of the fundamentals. And Dalton knows if he sees a throw coming to second, his job is to back it up. And they come running in and be there to be there. That's a good call strike.
That's that fundamentally sound stuff. You do that in practice routine over and over and over and over again. And you do that so that whenever those things, your eyes see those things happening, your body just reacts to it.
You don't think. That's
exactly.
Right. Yep. Now the 0-1 pitch. He's going to turn and look back at second. You see Dalton coming in. Even no throw was made, but the pitcher pivots. He's coming because he knows he's supposed to be the next level of defense if there's a bad throw. You know, in any given play in baseball, this is something that I love to watch the Mississippi Braves, for instance, as the announcer for them for so many years. The 0-1 pitch goes behind the batter, and that just got out of Ramsey's hand, and runner's going to advance easily on that wild pitch.
That's where he did not get on top of that curveball. If you don't get on top of it, it will hang. You have no control over it. It'll go behind the hitters. He has used that curveball very effectively here this evening, but right there just didn't get on top of that and snap that thing down to make it break.
Back to what I was talking about, you know, a lot of people talk about baseball taking the individual. It's not the team concept that football is, that, you know, one player missing an assignment can ruin a whole play. But baseball, while it's not the same as football, there's a major team effect to it. I'll finish that at just 1-1 pitch. He's going to throw over, look at third. Any given play, regardless of where the ball is hit into play, every one of the 9 players on the field have a spot they're supposed to go to.
Exactly.
They have some place to be. If it's not the immediate part of the play, it's a backup. It's something. 1-1 pitch, misses outside for a ball.
And it almost seems like when the one guy doesn't do his job on a particular play, it always finds that guy.
Doesn't it, though?
Always.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Misses high for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's all quiet in the Cougar bullpen.
And people talk often about, you know, baseball is just so slow moving. It's boring to watch. That's the part I like to watch most, is all the other things that are going on. You know, most everybody's looking at a pitcher and a catcher right now thinking about, well, is he ever going to throw the ball? Well, he is, but there's a lot of other stuff going on out there before he throws the ball.
Yeah, the infield's in on the grass. They're looking, and there's a line drive. Great spot. And he's ready for him. And good job. See, Bridley Thomas, even though the ball didn't come to him,
exactly,
knew to go back to that bag just in case the runner was too far off, and he was able to get him out. But Tiger's able to get back quickly, and that's a good out for the Cougars. Now batting pitcher number 3, J.T. Ginn.
I don't know that he sees a strike right here. Yep, that's what they just put him on.
And you got 2 outs. You got a 1-run game. You're moving later into midway into the game, later in the halfway point of the game. Don't let him beat you at the plate right now.
Definitely not.
When I got an empty base. And so they are going to walk him on an intentional walk. And now his courtesy runner comes in. It's number 37. Courtesy runners number 37, Cade Keaton. Now batting second baseman number 1, Kyle Reed.
How cool is it to be Cade Keaton? You know, I mean, down the line he can just say, man, you know, I was a sophomore when JT was a senior. And when he got on base his senior year, I had the opportunity to be his runner.
Well, his dad was a pretty fair baseball player. Still plays some. His dad's Kyle Keaton.
Okay.
Played some college ball, and they're not going to throw down. They're going to let Cade have the stolen base. I know his dad. That's who texted me prior to the game. Still plays some semi-pro ball up in the last couple of years. I'm not sure if he's still playing. Little chopper to the shortstop. It's going to be a tough play for Stewart. Going to come up and throw it. Hart makes the play, but he dove for the bag, and they called him safe. Stewart had a slow roller. It's going to be a base hit.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to the runner that was going from second to third on that. He did a good job of chopping his steps, jumping over the ball. The ball hits him there, he's out. But he forced the shortstop to make a play that he was a little bit blind to because he was blocked by the runner. And that was a long, difficult throw, falling away from first base. And he almost made that play, almost got the out. But he is safe at first. The run scores. Bulldogs lead 3-1.
Second hit of the ball game for the Bulldogs. And now batting is Garrett Stanford, the right fielder. He's grounded to second and walked in the ball game. Number 3 hitter in the order is hitting .371 on the season. He'll bat with runners at the corners, 2 out, and runners just going to take off and go. And now Garrett's going to turn around. They're going to get him into a rundown. He's going to throw back to second. He's just going to run him back to first. Now they got the runner coming to the plate, and he is out at the plate. Great play by the defense for the Cougars.
Again, well coached.
1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base after 3.5. Brandon leads 3-1. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
You made a promise to love, to dream, to share, to forgive, to grow, to create something stronger. You made a promise, and we're here to help you keep it. Bank Plus. It's more than a name. It's a promise.
We know you came in to just get a cleaning, but I think what you really wanted was to upgrade to a whole new set.
So we're out of ivory. Platinum or gold?
What?
I'll get the platinum ready.
We don't normally use this much Novocaine, but this will make it hurt a whole lot less.
You wouldn't put up with this at the dentist. Oh. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet. It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball on Cougar Broadcasting. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cougars trailing 3-1. Ginn still on the mound. 66 pitches. And there has been some activity in the bullpen, so we'll see how long Coach Hester leaves him out there. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with how he does with these first 3 hitters. He's going to come up 7, 8, 9 in the order against the Cougars here in the bottom half of the 4th. Now batting for the Cougars, catcher number 20, Case Garner. And Jay, as Garner steps to the plate, of course, he applied the tag to make the final out of the inning. But you and I just finished talking about how everybody on the defense has a spot to be on a particular play. And while Brandon tried to get the Cougars to force into the error, make the mistake, runner just takes off walking to second base. Ramsey steps off, number one, so he doesn't balk.
Exactly.
And then waits, and then finally throws it to his second baseman, Trimble. And that pitch in for a call strike on a good high fastball.
Well, and teams work on that continuously.
Yeah.
They work on those first and third situations. It all started with the coach stepping out of the dugout, gave some signs to his infield as to exactly what they were supposed to be doing, and the execution was perfect on that play.
There's foul back. Count goes no balls, 2 strikes. And the key to that, and you mentioned it, they practiced it so many
Absolutely.
times. There was no panic. There was nothing getting out of sorts. When Trimble saw the runner from halfway third break to the plate, he threw a strike to Garner. Garner applied the tag. Inning over.
I remember, back in high school days, we practiced that first and third every time we practiced. And you would get just worn out from doing it, but then your body, you would see the coach call the sign, this is what we're going to do, first and third. If the runner at first takes off, all those signs mean something, and you know what your job is, and the more you do it, the more your body just reacts and does it.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Again, working against Case Garner. Case struck out his previous trip. He's going to let that fastball down and away go there. It'd be 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
And those coaches that are always the old wise ones would always say to you when it was executed perfectly, see, that's why we do it every day.
2-2 pitch. Misses high for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Hold up, keep up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Case Garner to plate, trying to get something started for the Cougars here in the bottom half of the 4th. Now Ginn's pitch. Swings and misses at a fastball. Might have been off the plate, but with 2 strikes, you can't take a chance on watching it.
Yeah, too close to take. It may have been just a tad off the plate, outside part of the plate, but you got to go cutting at that. It's just too close to take.
Shortstop, number 4, Logan Stewart.
This umpire's strike zone has been a little bit wide to that right-handed hitter. So my guess is he's probably going to call that a strike if he leaves that alone anyway.
Probably, yep, I agree. Now the pitch from Ginn to Stewart. Singled his last trip. Takes that one on the outside corner for a call strike. That's that wide strike zone you were talking about.
Just a little bit.
Again, now it's 73 pitches. Now the 0-1 delivery. Swings and misses at an off-speed pitch down.
That's just not fair. It's just not fair. You bring a fastball in the 90s, and then you snap off a curveball.
Now 2 people throwing in the Brandon bullpen. 32 is backup, Jack Hilton. I can't tell who the other one is yet. Now the 0-2 delivery. As Ginn looks into Stewart. Breaking ball misses low for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And my guess is at 75 pitches, we're into the 4th inning. If Ginn can get out of this inning, it may be it for him. He may be done. They may go to the bullpen. He will have left with a lead, an opportunity to take a win if he can get out of this inning. Now the 1-2 pitch to Stewart. High and away for a ball. Catcher trying to claim one, but that was too high and too far away, and Blakely just has to eat that one and throw it back to his pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. And checked swing, and it's going to be a foul ball.
I believe it's number 15, but he's listed as an outfielder, so I don't know if Carter Cumberland is loosening up to pitch or loosening up maybe to go in the outfield.
Now that I look, it's 2 guys standing up. He's not throwing to a catcher.
Right.
So it could be just you could be right, Jay. It could be just somebody just getting loose, far double switch, some kind of change. The left fielder's being DH far. And so I don't know what he could be because he's going to do something with that. I don't know. We'll see. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Swings and misses, gets away from the catcher. He's going to throw it down to first and get Logan out to complete the play. Now batting center fielder number 9, Dalton Rogers. So now Dalton Rogers comes in. With 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom half of the 4th. 3 runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Bulldogs. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Cougars. Both teams have stranded 5 runners. I thought that was just a swing and a miss and off the catcher. I don't think that was a foul ball.
It was off the shin guard.
That's what I thought. And once again, as you mentioned, Blakely's taking a beating, if not behind the plate, in the batter's box.
One way or the other, he's going to be a sore young man when he wakes up in the morning. I don't care how young he is.
No balls, 1 strike to count. Again, struck out 9 so far. Breaking ball misses down and away. That's one thing people talk about, the catching position. That's where I played. Of course, you see major leaguers, you'll see infielders, outfielders maybe play in their mid upper 30s. A catcher, if he makes it into his 30s, he's done good. And that's a big mistake a catcher will make when he starts to get fatigued. That ball bounced short of the plate, and he turned his head.
He did.
Your protection's in front,
yes,
not behind. And when you start getting fatigued, getting tired, that's when you start doing things like that. And so far, Blakely has not done that. He's been a great catcher back there, it looks like. But I think he's just getting wore out a little bit, and he turned away from that one.
He's worked hard.
Oh, he has.
It's not easy to catch somebody that throws the ball mid-90s with a lot of movement in it and then throws a breaking ball and then snaps something off in the dirt. And he's worked very hard here this evening.
2 balls, 1 strike to count. Dalton Rogers trying to extend the inning for the Cougars. Takes one, and it looks like he's been calling that one all night. So I will give him credit for that. That's where that strike zone's been all night. And the umpire sets up on the left shoulder of the catcher. So that pitch on that outside corner, he's got to look across the catcher to see it. This one bounces shy of the plate. Once again, count goes full to Dalton Rogers. When I played, we had a guy that used to catch. His name was Ricky Tharp. We joked with him, preacher pitcher is what we called him, because he always wore out the knee of his pants. Because on his follow-through, he stretched so far that right knee would literally hit the ground. And it'd be dirt covered after the first inning, and he'd have a hole in it and patched by the 3rd game. 3-2 count now to Rogers. Low and away, he lost him, ball 4.
I'm just glad to know they wore real baseball uniforms back in that day. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Now batting for the Cougars, second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. Now, Ricky didn't throw anything like JT. I'm not going to say I had a 90-plus mile-an-hour thrower, but he had, we didn't use guns back then. I don't know if we knew what a speed gun was back then. But he'd probably throw it, I'd say, in mid-80s. But he had what we called a drop ball. It's basically just a big curve now. But, it literally 12-6 drop, and it would get about the dirt out in front of the plate, and the bottom would fall out.
Oh, yeah.
And well hit left side and foul. Again, Reed not able to get around on it. But when I finished catching a game of his, I was wore out because it had beat me up back there trying to be the wall, to go to my knees, to block it up, keep it in front of me.
Well, and his job is 0-2, 1-2. He's going to throw that, and it's going to break right out there in front of the plate. Bottom's going to fall out, and your job's to catch it.
Back then, we called the pitches. I did. We didn't have it called from the dugout, and I called it. Even though I knew it was going to hurt me, I called it, and he loved it. Runner goes, ground ball up the middle. Shortstop's going to have to go to first. Runner's going to head to third, but he'll make the throw to first to get the out, and that'll end the inning on the 6-3 putout. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. After 4 complete, Bulldogs 3, Cougars 1. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
I know. Mind-blowing deals as advertised.
Is the decimal point in the right place?
Let me talk to the head honcho. See if I can't get that price knocked in. We rearranged some details I don't trust you to understand, and I can do $275. But that's my rock bottom deal.
You wouldn't put up with this at a restaurant. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet. It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We've got a change in the Cougars battery as Dalton Rogers has now moved the pitcher's mound. Garrett Ramsey will go to center field as they just swap places, and which Ramsey is an outfielder when he's not playing. That's not an unusual switch to see that. And Rogers, one of the better pitchers on the team, will step onto the pitcher's mound.
Now pitching for the Cougars, number 9, Dalton Rogers. Garrett Ramsey moves to center field. Leading off top of the fifth, right field number 7, Garrett Stanford.
So Garrett Stanford leads off here in the top of the fifth for the Bulldogs. And first pitch, he lines it off for Dalton Rogers on one hop to Garrett Ramsey in center field. So just like that, Dalton and Garrett both welcome to their new positions. Now batting center fielder number 14, T.J. Walker. And I'm sure with this final line on Ramsey will be 4 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. Walked 6 and struck out 7. He hit a batter, 2 wild pitches, 80 pitches, 39 strikes, 41 balls. Popped up foul and out of play as he tried to lay the bunt down.
I think the stat that hurts the most there, the 6 walks, the 2 hit batters, 1 hit batter. That's just easy free passes that usually wind up biting you.
And that's what Coach McClaskey will tell you if you talk to him about his pitching this year. He's happy with the hits they give up or don't give up. He's been happy with the way they pitch, number of strikeouts even, but just the free passes. Yeah. The walks/hit batters have been way, way too many. And you put too much pressure on your defense when you give up those free passes. Now the 0-1 pitch to Walker. Breaking ball misses outside. Rogers, the left-hander, coming in as in relief of the right-hander, Garrett Ramsey. Give you some numbers on Rogers in just a moment. Got an ERA of 2.10 as he enters the game. .10 record has Rogers. 16 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 16 walks, 34 strikeouts. Again, that's 34 strikeouts, a great number through 4 outings. But 16 walks is terrible. And you've got to do better than that. He's faced 91 batters, 72 at-bats. So strikeout ratio to 72 at-bats, 34 of them strike out. That's pretty good. You just can't give up all those free passes. Showing bunt, pulling back, taking a ball high. And that was a good pitch. It was out of the zone, but you're taught as a pitcher, help me with this, pitcher. When that guy squares around early, throw it at him. Throw it up and in at him.
Make it tough on him,
yeah.
Definitely.
Because, one, if he can get a bat on it, more often than not, he's going to pop it up. He's not going to be able to lay it down on those high pitches, up and in at you. Now the 2-1 count. Stanford at first. Rogers will throw over. He'll go back to the bag. And once again, Ridley Thomas coming in to back up a throw.
And it's not throw at him, but what you're trying to aim at is you're trying to get up in the zone in the letters and the inside part of the play, because there's not much he's going to do with that. If he tries to put that in play with a bunt, it's probably going to be popped up.
And he fouls that one off as he reaches out and tries to slap one, as Thomas, the third baseman, was well in on the grass. So now with a 2-2 count, you sort of expect the bunt to come off, but of course Coach Hester's a fundamentalist, kind of like McClaskey, and he gets a hitter, doesn't lay the bunt down like he's supposed to. He's liable to make him do it with 2 strikes anyway. He did take it off and swings and misses at a good hard fastball by Dalton Rogers. Now batting catcher, number 6, Reed Blakely. Now Blakely comes in.
Who wins the award for all the bruises here this evening. He's got a few.
Yeah, he does. Foul back. Probably the fastest pitcher I ever had to catch playing was a guy named Jarrett Price. He was a football player, went to Ole Miss and played football. But he probably, if anybody we had on the staff that I caught could get to 90, it would probably be Jarrett. He was probably about 6 foot, went about 210, 215, was a tailback. had thighs as big around as my waist at the time, back then, not now. But he could bring it. And I wore a handball glove is what I wore inside my catcher's mitt. And just because I wanted that extra padding in there. And but he would still wear me out with that fastball. Chop foul down the third base line. Jarrett went on to be an airline pilot for Delta.
It's an interesting career choice.
Yep.
From baseball to the air.
Grew up with football was his primary sport.
Yeah.
And he was a really good ball player. But he grew up on a farm and loved the flying and started flying around right out of high school into college and kept it up and become a commercial pilot. Two of my friends were commercial pilots, him and there was another one was an American Airlines pilot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Reed Blakely as Rogers in relief of Garrett Ramsey. Works with a runner at first and 1 out. We're in the top of the 5th of a 3-1 game. Cougars want to keep it where it is and try to pick up some late inning runs. Good pitch on the outer half, called strike 3. And just froze him on that one.
Well, he just painted the outside corner on that. Batter froze. Couldn't even take the bat off of his shoulder. He whipped that across the outside corner for a much-needed strikeout.
Now with 2 outs, you don't worry as much about that runner at first. You try to get that batter out and move on to the bottom half of the 5th. Just misses low on that inside fastball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Next game for the Cougars tomorrow night. They will travel to Murrah, swing and a miss. You know, I need to check on that. Murrah plays on Michael D. Johnson Field outside Smith Wills, and it may not be playable with the rain. And we're supposed to play them again Friday night here, there tomorrow night, here Friday. And it wouldn't be unlike Coach McClaskey to swap those games if Murrah coach would agree to it and go ahead and play here tomorrow night and there Friday night, because our field obviously can be played on. But that's the next game, 2 games for the Cougars is region play against Murrah. Swing and a miss at a good breaking ball. Of course, Cougars 1-1 in region play. Split with Madison Central the first times. 2 games against Murrah this week. Then we'll get Starkville for 2 games. Good fastball right across the knees, middle of the plate for a called strike 3. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We played 4.5. Brandon leads 3-1. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your new favorites quote now?
Oh, great.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
You made a promise to work, to lend a hand, to push, to build, to invest yourself, to make a difference. You made a promise, and so did we. To Mississippi, to each other. Bank Plus, it's more than a name, it's a promise.
Let's face it, you aren't just a man or just a woman. You are athletes. You aren't just athletes, you're a team. You're more than just a team. You're a family. You deserve Mississippi Sports Medicine. Mississippi Sports Medicine is more than just orthopedists. Collectively, our specialized doctors perform almost 10,000 surgeries each year. From our family to yours, any age, any sport, any injury, just come here. We've got you covered.
Now pitching for Brandon, number 32, Jack Hilton. JT Ginn moves to shortstop. Now batting for the Cougars, first baseman, number 5, Chris Hart. We're not 100% sure about all the moves, but we do know that Ginn is now playing shortstop. That much we know for a fact. We think Jones has left the game, so we're going to sub him out and put number 32, Hilton, in as the new pitcher. Jack Hilton, number 32. First pitch was a strike to Chris Hart.
And what you don't see from Hilton is 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but you see left-hander, a lot of soft breaking pitches, and they're going to have to adjust to that. It's 0-2 on the hitter.
That pitch misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. So 1-2 count to Chris Hart at the plate. Left-hander's Hilton. And now his pitch. Well hit left field. It's going back. It's deep in his yard. Isn't going to hold that one. A home run by Chris Hart.
When he measured up the slower pitches that time, got 2 strikes on him, but then came back in a big way, home run over the left field fence.
And the Cougars now say, goodbye, Mr. Ginn.
Yeah, glad he's gone. Glad he's playing a little shortstop now.
First home run of the season for Chris Hart. And number 33, Landon Tompkins.
Now Chris Hart, after his first home run of the season, his 7th RBI, has pulled the Cougars within 1. And Landon Tompkins steps into the batter's box. Landon's got a homer and 9 RBI on the season. And if you're Hilton, no, all of a sudden now you kind of rocked. You were 0-2, then you were 1-2. Comes back with a breaking ball on the outer half of the plate, and that was one of those 12-6 breaking balls just then.
Pretty sure that's all he throws is breaking pitches.
No balls, 1 strike to count. Now the 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball in for a strike. So what you got to do now as a hitter is just move up a little bit in the box, time that out, and drive it. 0-2 pitch. Hogan's on deck. Johnson in the hole. The 0-2 delivery chopped off the spinner off the side of the plate, running down the line, and Tompkins won't quite make it. It'll be a 4-3 put out. That ball had some weird spin on it coming off bat. I thought at first it might have hit his foot.
It kind of cued off the end of the bat. Had a lot of spin on it as it went by the pitcher's mound. So nice play by Reed to get the out. It almost has to look like, from 95 miles an hour, it almost has to look like Hilton is throwing slow pitch softball in. It is almost the feeling. That's the adjustment you have to make when you have 95 fastball down to, my guess, is 70 miles an hour.
Nick Hogan way out in front of that breaking pitch that was low. And that's where Nick has struggled of late, is swinging at those low pitches. And he swings at one down that time. No balls, 1 strike to count. And I'm sure that's what the coach is trying to encourage Nick, just to kind of wait on it, move up a little bit in that box. Just be patient. Make contact. Once again, a breaking ball. Swing and a miss.
I may be giving him a lot of credit at 70. It may be more like 65.
That ball's coming in. That breaking pitch is at 65 at best, I'm going to say. Nick Hogan, 0-2 pitch. Takes one, call strike, and that was another pitch, exact same spot. Nick just couldn't figure it out. Now batting left fielder, number 22, Justin Johnson. Justin, 281 hitter with 5 RBI. Tonight is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to short. Justin needs to put one here in play and get something going for the Cougars with 2 outs. That pitch missed low for a ball. That was one of the rare fastballs. And I'm going to say that fastball wasn't 75.
Probably not.
Which, like you said, that's 20 miles an hour slower than what you've been used to seeing.
A huge adjustment.
1-0 pitch to Johnson. Breaking ball in for a strike. But now these Cougar hitters, of course, going back in, Chris Hart, Tompkins, Hogan need to talk to those hitters on deck and in the hole and let them know, hey, this is what's coming. There's a well-hit ball to right center field, over the head of the center fielder, one hop to the wall. Johnson around first, heading for second. He's going to stand up at second with a 2-out double.
That's a good adjustment there. He watched a few pitches, but then he lined that one over the center fielder's head all the way into right center field to the wall, stand-up double.
Now batting third baseman, number 1, Bridley Thomas. And again, that's what the hitters need to be telling the rest of those guys coming up.
Absolutely.
This is what we're seeing. And I had the chance to spend the last 4 games with them in the dugout, scoring the games on the coast, and got a chance to watch those hitters coming off the bases after a strikeout or after a walk or even after a hit when they came back in. This is what he's doing. This is what he's throwing. This is where it's going. And they have to communicate that. You can see it from the dugout, but not like you can from the batter's box. Now Blakely goes out and talks to Hilton a little bit. They're talking about Bridley Thomas and what they're going to do with him. Bridley been hit by a pitch and struck out so far in the ball game. Bridley's been struggling at the plate this season. He did pick up a good couple of good bunt singles down on the coast, try to get his confidence up a little bit, put the ball in play and get on base. Good defensive player. He looks back and asks for time from the home plate umpire. It's granted, as Hilton taking a little bit longer than Bridley was comfortable with.
It's one thing to be hit by a pitch, but when you wear one at 95, I'm sure there's going to be a nice little bruise he will have on that left arm.
Now the pitch, breaking ball stays up. Bridley was showing bunt, and he's not above bunting for a base hit with 2 outs.
Well, if he pushes one down the first base line right now, he can walk down to first base.
His 2 he did on the coast were both third base sides. He'll have to do the other way because third baseman's playing in with the bag, kind of thinking about it. Another pitch high and away for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to count. You missed it last week. Had a great opportunity last Friday night in the game here. Bridley's mom came up and visited with me, Sarah Thomas.
Oh, cool.
And had a good visit with her about athletics and sports and a little bit about her career path. And, of course, she's an NFL official. But had a good conversation
and
with
now
Sarah.
Broadcaster.
And now broadcaster. Sat in with me for an inning. 3-0 count to Bridley Thomas. On deck is Case Garner, the catcher. And I see Coach Nathan Purvis talking to Case, and they're talking exactly now about what this pitcher's doing, what adjustments you need to make, as you mentioned that Justin did a good job of. Hilton from the stretch, looks back at Johnson, now comes to the plate, and got a gift on that. But, again, that's where he's been all night.
The spot.
So he's giving it to Hilton just like he was to JT Ginn. He calls that outside corner. A little generous on that outside part of the plate.
It's the outside corner for the right-handed hitter, but it's the inside part of the batter's box of the left-handed side that he calls the strike on. That's about as good a description as I can give you right there.
That's about as good as it gets, too. 3 balls, 1 strike to Bridley Thomas. Johnson down at second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-run ball game. Now the pitch. Checked his swing, and they said he went. Would like to have seen appeal to that one, but there's a base umpire down at first base side. Had a good look at it, but the plate umpire went ahead and called it. So it's full count now to Thomas with 2 outs. Johnson doesn't have to run at second, but most likely with Coach Bennett where it goes, he'll put him moving. Be careful the ball hit to the third baseman, though. Don't make it easy. Breaking ball high and away, hung, and Thomas draws the walk. Now batting for the Cougars, catcher, number 20, Case Garner. Outfield playing a little bit more traditional now with Hilton on the mound as opposed to where they were with Ginn. They're not just assuming that nobody can get around on Hilton. Center fielder playing right in the middle of the wettest part of the field where they kind of wore it out during the Mid-Mississippi Classic. He'll shade a little bit towards the left side. Left fielder playing a little bit deep. Garner struck out twice, once looking, once swinging against Ginn. Now, once again, they're going to call the catcher out. Blakely will go out and talk to his pitcher, Hilton. Hilton will be the 3rd batter scheduled up in the top half of the 6th. So if they made any other changes we weren't aware of, we'll find out pretty quick. Now the first pitch coming to Garner. Breaking ball in for a strike. Garner struggled at the plate, only hitting $120. He's hit a couple hard this year. He's got 7 RBI. Just struggled to get into a rhythm of getting some base hits. Takes that pitch high for a ball. Garner, of course, the younger brother to Craig Garner, who played catcher for Northwest. He's an outstanding defensive catcher and also left-handed hitter. And now the catcher and first baseman for the Belhaven Blazers. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hits it well. Line drive into left field for a base hit. Johnson's going to round third, coming to the plate. Here comes the throw. Will not be in time. They won't even make the relay. Case Garner, a great job working it and getting the single into left.
Well, you said he was batting 120. That's a big hit right there for a guy hitting 120. He lines one over the shortstop's head and picks up the base hit and the RBI. And he also has a runner for him at first base. Let me see if we can pick up who that is.
Probably 13.
That is correct, 13.
So 13, Chapman will be the courtesy runner for the catcher. Courtesy runners number 13, Chapman. Now batting shortstop number 4, Logan Stewart. This game's all tied now at 3. And Logan swings it and gets just a piece of it on a foul tip. No balls, 1 strike to count. 3 runs, 5 hits now for the Cougars. 8th RBI now for Case Garner. 3rd on the team in RBI. Breaking ball just high to Logan. Logan hitting .258, singled in the second inning off Ginn. Struck out in the 4th off of Ginn. Now facing Hilton for the first time. 2 on, 2 out. Thomas with good speed down at second. Breaking ball in for a call strike. And Jay, you called it. I think, obviously, we're not charting his pitches, but I'm saying he's throwing 3-1 breaking balls.
Absolutely. And usually when he does throw the fastball, he throws it way up in the zone. I think he just to show that I've got one, but I'm afraid to throw it across the plate because you may hit it a long way.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Logan Stewart. Dalton Rogers on deck. Chopper back towards the pitcher. Hilton knocks it away. It's going to be a tough play. That's going to be a base hit. Logan Stewart with a base hit back to the pitcher on a chopper that's just hard to make a play on as a pitcher, and he wasn't able to make it. That's one of those, if he makes the catch and doesn't throw him out, I rule it an error.
Right.
But unable to make that catch, that's going to be a base hit for Stewart. The Cougars now with 6 hits, got bases loaded, and Coach Hester wants to go to the mound and talk to his pitcher, Jack Hilton. So with this break, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Northwest Rankin High School Baseball on Cougar Broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Dr. David Mitchell with Mitchell Dental Clinic in Flowood. We're excited to announce our partnership with Cougar Athletics for the 2017 season, and we'd like for you to join our team. Just give us a call, we'll make it super easy for you. We can't wait to see you.
Go Cougars!
Accidents aren't planned. Mississippi Sports Medicine Orthopedic Urgent Care. You're in, you're out. You're better.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball. He leaves Hilton on the mound. Now batting for the Cougars, pitcher number 9, Dalton Rogers. Dalton 0 for 0. He walked twice against Ginn tonight in the second inning and the fourth inning. Now as the pitcher, he gets a chance to help his own cause because he could give the Cougars the lead if he could get a base hit with bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the fifth. Chopper off the plate, high. It's going to be trouble. Dalton with good speed, base hit. Dalton Rogers, Ridley Thomas crossing the plate.
Just made contact, beat it into the ground. It gets over the top of the pitcher's head. And as you called it, no man's land, can't make the play there, and he gets on first base, and the run scores.
We're going to get a courtesy runner for the pitcher, I'm assuming, and it's going to be number 12, Jared Jasper. Courtesy runner for the pitcher is number 12, Jared Jasper. Now batting for the Cougars, second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. So back-to-back singles by the Cougars and hadn't got it out of the infield. As Dalton Rogers hits another one of those high choppers. And now Reed Trimble steps in. Takes the first pitch, a fastball. A little bit low for a called strike. One of the rare fastballs, as we pointed out. Trimble 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out against Ginn. Some of the fans thought he balked. The pitch was a ball.
I believe he
did balk.
It.
He hesitated.
Yes.
As great job by Chapman at third base. He took off running down the line and caused Hilton to hesitate. And so the run will score on the balk. Everybody moves up a base. And Coach Hester may have seen all he wants to see. Cougars now lead 5-3. All right, maybe wanting to ask the umpire for sure, did he really balk? But he didn't. He started and hesitated. He went ahead and came to the plate, but he definitely changed his motion. And I'm going to give credit to Chapman running off the bag at third for that.
He's pretty slow and deliberate to the plate anyway, but there was definitely a little bit of a pause there.
A lot of little details that a pitcher has to do to make it right. And one of those, once you start your motion to the plate, you can't stop it.
Right.
And of course, you got to come completely set if you're working from the stretch. Certain things about stepping off the rubber, but it's just all part of keeping a pitcher from trying to be overly deceptive to the runners. And Cougars now take a 5-3 lead here in the bottom half of the fifth. 4 runs here in the fifth. 2 outs, 2 on. Runners at second and third. Call strike on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. All started off on the leadoff home run this inning by Chris Hart. And just ignited the Cougars. Got a ground out and a strikeout following that, but then since then, there's a foul off by Trimble. Good job of staying alive. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes to Trimble. But it's amazing how the confidence level changes. But then, of course, you do. It's a big difference in face, as we talked about. Don't want to belabor the point, but it is a huge difference facing Hilton versus Ginn. Now the 1-2 pitch. Grounded right side. Base hit into right field. Easily scoring is Stewart. Jasper's rounding third, coming to the plate. Forward now over the Brandon Bulldogs.
Trimble just hit that where it was pitched. It was an outside pitch. He just drilled it past the first baseman into right field, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
And that's going to be all for Jack Hilton. And with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the change. You're watching Northwest Rankin High School Baseball on Cougar Broadcasting. Mrs. Pat and her fine crew, headed by Big T over at Master Lube Pennzoil of Grants Ferry Road, are celebrating 20 years of automotive service to the Reservoir area. Master Lube was the first quick lube in the area, and special in the fact that it's owned and operated by a lady who is a real fanatic on customer service. In addition to all those great Pennzoil products, they also have a full-time mechanic on duty and a full-service car wash detail shop. Stop by today and ask for Mrs. Pat or Big T, and they'll show you what real automotive service is all about. Feel the clean. Pennzoil Clean. Go Cougars!
I'll take one of those shovels.
Oh, those shovels are lease only.
But I just want to dig a hole.
Well, I can sell you the sweet, sporty, compact model for cash.
You wouldn't put up with this at a hardware store. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
You made a promise to love, to dream, to share, to forgive, to grow, to create something stronger. You made a promise, and we're here to help you keep it. Bank Plus, it's more than a name, it's a promise.
Accidents aren't planned. Mississippi Sports Medicine Orthopedic Urgent Care. You're in, you're out. You're better.
Hi, I'm Dr. David Mitchell with Mitchell Dental Clinic in Flowood. We're excited to announce our partnership with Cougar Athletics for the 2017 season.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball. Chris Hart at the plate led off the inning with a solo homer. That pitch misses low and away for a ball. The new pitcher was the first baseman, Cannon Harvey. He's in to pitch now, so we're going to try to get some of this sorted out. What we figured out, Renfro came out of the game when Hilton came in, and we missed that. As I try to sort it out now, also in my that pitch misses for a ball. 2 balls. Is it 2 balls, no strikes?
I think that
Jay,
is
help
correct.
me watch that. I'm
okay.
Blake, he's thrown 2 pitches. I got to get my game changer updated as well. Outside for a ball. 3 balls, no strikes to count. And he walks him. So Chris Hart draws the walk. Now batting right fielder, number 33, Landon Tompkins.
Pretty sure I'm going to keep my bat on the shoulder right now because he hasn't thrown a strike. He's nowhere near the strike zone yet. Keep the big inning going.
Two on. 2 out. Pitch misses high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. I think I've got all the changes now. Again, still at shortstop. Reed still at second base. Stanford still in right field. Walker still in center. Then it gets crazy from here. Blakely was the catcher. He's now playing first base. Harvey, the first baseman's now the pitcher. Tigert still at third. Garrett, Gentry Tigert was the DH, now the catcher. And Holden Sumrall, is now in left field. He came in when the last pitcher, Hilton, came in that spot. The DH is gone. And Tompkins has a 1-0 count with runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Cougars already played at 5 runs, threatening to do more. High fly ball. It's going to be playable if it stays in play. And down the left field line, it's going to get out of play into the bullpen. And the bullpen, though, is in play here at Western Scarborough Field. That's when the bullpen made the play, and so that will end the inning. 5 runs on 5 hits. No errors, 2 left on base. After 5, Cougars lead 7-3. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
Let's face it, you expect your healthcare provider to be more than just educated and compassionate. You want them to be available, a good listener, and guide you to recovery. Like Mississippi Spears Center in Jackson, open until 7 p.m., and more than just a treatment plan.
Thank you for shopping at Mystery Savings Supermarket, where you never know what kind of deal you're going to get. Welcome to Mystery Savings Supermarket. That'll be $9.
But
Welcome to Mystery Savings Supermarket, where you never know what kind of deal you're going to get.
You wouldn't put up with this at a supermarket. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball. Going to the top of the 6th. Cougars lead by 4. Leading off the top of the 6th for Brandon, third baseman, number 8, Tristan Tigert. Now Tigert steps in, takes the first pitch just low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Tigert struck out in the second, doubled in the 4th inning. Now he'll lead off the 6th with Brandon trailing by 4. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Bulldogs. 7 runs on 8 hits for the Cougars. Now the 1-0 pitch misses high for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to count.
And what you can't do here is start walking people. You get a nice big lead, 4-run lead, you got to throw strikes.
And he's immediately gone 3-0 to Tigert, the leadoff hitter. We had a Jonathan Johnston State Farm, that home run by Chris Hart. We've been so long without getting some base runners and hits, I forgot about my As It Happens sponsors. Call strike. Extra base hits, Tony Young Performance Gear. We had a double and a home run. Those extra base hits, Ducks on the Pine, Tony Young Performance Gear. 3-1 pitch, in for a strike, trying to come back from a 3-0 and see if he can record an out. And 4th batter of the inning was our Buffalo Wild Wings swing for wings batter. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good job by Dalton, coming back from a 3-0 count to record the strikeout.
They regained the focus, 3 straight strikes, and the 3rd one swinging for the first out of the inning.
And look at the on-deck batter. Tell me if it's number 21. If it is, we're good. If not, we got to go back to the drawing board. First pitch to Tigert, in for a strike.
It is number 21, so you got it done.
That first pitch was a strike. 0-1 to count. Another strike, 0-2. Now, Jay, at this point, going back to your pitching days, you get a 4-run lead, late innings, you're in relief. What is your primary focus now?
Throw strikes. I mean, that's really what you want to do. You want to keep moving the ball in and out. You want to keep throwing all of your pitches. but you don't necessarily have to work off the plate as much as you were earlier. You just want to let them give them the opportunity to hit some of your good stuff and put the ball in play and allow your defense behind you to play defense. That's what they're out there to do. So the idea, throw strikes and force them to put the ball in play.
2-2 pitch after 0-2 count. Chops it foul at the plate. And I agree with you because, when you got a one-run game or tie ball game or you're trailing by a run, even 2 runs, one swing of the bat can make a big difference.
Right.
When you're up by 4, one swing of the bat can't hurt you. Even if he hits it out, you're still up by 3. 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. So as the last batter, he had 3-0, came back, struck him out. This batter, he had 0-2. Now he's gone to a full count. So he's throwing a lot of pitches that should be unnecessary. Now the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And that's what Coach McClaskey says is going to give him a heart attack. Is we get the count where we want it, we get the game where we want it, and then we do things like that. We're going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher. Tigert will try to pick up his number as he goes across the diamond. Number 30. Courtesy runner's number 30, Trey McCormick. Now batting left fielder number 21, Holden Summerall. So McCormick comes in as a courtesy runner. First pitch popped up, right side, in the air. And Landon Tompkins makes the play on it to record the out.
A little bit of no man's land out there right in between the second baseman and the right fielder in a pretty muddy spot on the field. I was just hoping everybody remains standing up. They are able to make that catch, and it happens as Tompkins comes in and makes the catch.
Now batting shortstop number 3, JT Ginn.
Field looks great after all the rain and the games that have been played on it. I was wondering how it would even look here this evening, but it does look very nice.
First pitch misses for a ball. Two outs with a runner at first base. Ginn at the plate. Misses low for a ball. Ginn walked his first trip to the plate on the intentional walk, as we said, pitching around him. That pitch high for ball 3. The second trip to the plate, he grounded out back to the pitcher on a slow roller. Then he was intentionally walked in the 4th inning, and now he's gone to a 3-0 count. Don't know. I got a feeling Hester liable to give him a green light here at 3-0, just in case Dalton grooves one. Dalton didn't. He threw it up. He'll walk him. So Ginn will go 0 for 1 on the night at the plate with 3 walks. Now that puts 2 runners on, and Kyle Reed, second baseman, coming to the plate with 2 outs. Case Garner goes out along with Reed Trimble coming in from second base to talk to Dalton Rogers and just try to settle him down, get back where he needs to be with 2 outs and 2 on.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, second baseman number 1, Kyle Reed.
Jay, I can't see down below us. I'm assuming the scouts have departed.
For the most part, yes.
They saw what they wanted to see. But as we were talking about in the coach's office earlier, even though everybody knows they came to watch JT Ginn and to chart him, see what he's got, everybody else, the 9 players for the Cougars, 10 players with the DH, the other players, another 9 for Brandon, had a chance, fouled off on the first pitch by Reed, out of play, but had a chance to be noticed. If you can do something spectacular, you can get seen. And Scout may just make a little mental note or a little note in the side of his margin. Hey, maybe want to come back and take a look at this shortstop or this second baseman or whatever, or one of these other pitchers even. So, it's just something good to have there. 1 ball, 1 strike to count now to Reed. Dalton looks back at second, comes to the plate. Breaking ball just misses inside.
The other cool part is to be out there on that field when this place is packed.
Yeah.
There's a big amount of energy that comes from playing in front of that big a crowd.
2-1 pitch, the call strike.
Just so happened to have a bunch of major league and college scouts in here as well. So, full house, a lot of important people.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Reed. 2 outs, 2 on. Fouled off, right side, out of play. And, of course, the Cougar fans and Cougar team is used to seeing the first base side pretty well filled up because the Cougar fans are faithful.
Right.
And will show up. But to see both sides filled up and all the scouts, all the excitement, it just makes it a fun atmosphere. But these Cougar players are generally used to that. When you play the Clintons and the Brandons and the Madison Centrals year in, year out, and Dalton bounces that one to the plate, both runners will advance. That one just really came out of his hand weird. It bounced in the grass well short of the plate. Case tried to block it. He did block it somewhat, but it still bounced off of him toward the third base dugout, and both runners able to advance on a wild pitch. Now you get to a point where I was talking earlier with 2 outs and nobody on, or even with 1 on, nothing to worry about. But now you got 2 on, 2 outs, a batter up there. One swing now could change the whole complexion of the ballgame. 3-2 count. You want to get the hitter here. Don't go to the number 3 hitter in the order. Missed him, high fastball. And again, this is what Coach McClaskey is just pulls his hair out about.
And there's nobody warming in the bullpen.
Now batting right fielder number 7, Garrett Stanford. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top half of the 6th inning. Cougars just need 4 outs to claim a victory. Got to get 1 here, though. Good pitch on the inside part of the plate for a called strike.
Stanford came in with one of the higher averages on the team at 382.
It's at 389 now as he's 1 for 2 tonight with a walk.
So not an easy out at all.
Good breaking ball. Just must have been a hair low. It looked real good from here. Garrett did a good job of not swinging at a pitch if it was going down. Yeah, right now, Coach McClaskey has said, Dalton, this is on your shoulders, buddy. Take care of it. Good pitch on that outside part of the plate. And that's the one that we've been questioning. It's questionable out there, but he's called it all night right there. So got to give the umpire credit for that.
I think I'd probably throw it out there again.
I would. 1-2. He did. Got him chopped back to Dalton. Makes the play, turns, throws to first, ends the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. 3 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cougars lead 7-3. Back in 60 seconds on Cougar Broadcasting.
I'll take one of those shovels.
Oh, those shovels are lease only.
But I just want to dig a hole.
Well, I can sell you the sweet, sporty, compact model for cash.
You wouldn't put up with this at a hardware store. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Mrs. Pat and her fine crew, headed by Big T over at Master Lube Pennzoil at Grants Ferry Road, are celebrating 20 years of automotive service to the reservoir area. Master Lube was the first quick lube in the area, and special in the fact that it's owned and operated by a lady who is a real fanatic on customer service. In addition to all those great Pennzoil products, they also have a full-time mechanic on duty and a full-service car wash detail shop. Stop by today and ask for Mrs. Pat or Big T, and they'll show you what real automotive service is all about. Feel the clean. Pennzoil clean. Go Cougars! Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball on Cougar Broadcasting. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Cougars up 7-3. Jay, you and I were just talking about in the break, the Bulldogs have scored 3 runs. 2 of those 3 reached base by way of the free pass, a walk.
Yeah, and man, usually those walks come back to bite you in so many different ways. And, you know, the Cougars finally got to the point where in the bottom of the 5th, they got again out of the game, pick up 6 runs, and they lead at 7-3. But definitely some work still to be done by the coaches. You know, that's been a frustrating point all year long, and just another area that they're going to continue to deal with, because it is a frustration when you can't throw the ball over the plate. You just put guys on base, allow opportunities to score runs, and not to mention extend times of ball games.
Yep.
You really have the opportunity to end this thing in a hurry if you can throw the ball across the plate.
1-0 pitch to Nick Hogan, way high for ball 2. You just allow teams to hang around.
You do.
And where you could put somebody away, you allow them to hang around when you continually put batters on without them having to earn it. Coach Hester's walking to the mound, And he's bringing somebody in the bullpen. He's gone to a 2-0 count to Nick Hogan, and just like that, he's going to tell Mr. Kenneth Harvey, your night's done on the mound, son. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds, sort out this pitching change. Back in a moment on Cougar Broadcasting.
Hey, Brett.
You made it.
Yeah.
Hey, my old receivers, Mark and Antonio, they want to hear more.
Right. Well, with Farm Bureau Save Rates, you get a great auto quote, plus local agents and fast, friendly claims.
Nice.
Hey.
Should we warn them?
Local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Sorry.
Totally worth
it. This one.
You sure?
Yeah.
But tell him which one you want.
Excuse me, I want this puppy.
How about this puppy? It's sleek, runs cooler than a dog, low maintenance, leather exterior.
You wouldn't put up with this at a pet store. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School Baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. We are in the bottom half of the sixth. And Coach Hester, after his pitcher comes out, Harvey, and goes to a 2-0 count to the first batter he's facing. He only faced, Harvey did, he went 1/3 of an inning. He walked a batter and got a fly out to the left in foul territory. He goes 2-0 count to Nick Hogan, and he goes straight to the bullpen and comes in with Wesley Walker, number 17. Best we can tell, a straight change. Now pitching for Brandon, number 17, Wesley Walker. And Nick Hogan at the plate with a 2-0 count, and he'll see Walker. And that's a tough situation for Walker to come in. Don't mess up, because Hogan will send the ball out of orbit in this park tonight. No wind whatsoever. And Nick struck out 3 times. Chopper down to third baseline. Base hit just past the diving third baseman. Nick's going to round first and lumber towards second. Here comes the throw, and he's going to be out at second base. It's going to be a single for Nick Hogan, but he'll be thrown out as he tried to stretch it a little bit farther than he should. So we'll get a base hit. Now batting left fielder, number 22, Justin Johnson. Again, but a perfect throw. Otherwise, he's able to maybe beat it out.
Looks like the Cougars have somebody up in the bullpen, but I am blocked by the light pole. I cannot see a number.
See if we can get that for you in just a moment. Batter now is Justin Johnson.
He's a right-hander, I believe.
Justin fights that one off, literally off the handle of the bat, and fouls it off. Can't quite pick up the
Tompkins.
There's a well-hit ball straight away center field, over the head of the center fielder, all the way to the wall. Justin Johnson has hit another double. 2 doubles tonight to almost the exact same spot.
He likes that right center field Farm Bureau insurance sign. He's gone there twice this evening.
And now you just say, what if Nick hadn't tried to stretch that?
Nick would say I'd had to run from first to home. That's what
or even to third.
Exactly.
To get out of Justin's way.
Exactly.
Now batting third baseman, number 1, Bridley Thomas. Number 33, Landon Tompkins, right fielder for the Cougars, getting loose in the bullpen. And don't know whether we would see him immediately in the top of the 7th or whether he's just going to be ready just in case Dalton runs into trouble. 4, 5, 6 in the order is what's scheduled up for Brandon in their half of the 7th. Cougars would love to add a run or two right here. They're up by 4. You make it 5, you really give an extra little cushion. Now Bridley Thomas, first pitch in for a strike, outside part of the plate. Johnson with good speed down at second. Ridley takes that one low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Again, keep an eye on that third baseman. Ridley will look down there, and Coach, he'll bunt it without the signal. He'll bunt for the base hit. Coach gives him the green light to try that. First baseman playing back at the edge of the grass into right field. So a lot of room if he were to try to push one. But coming out of the box, it's just so much easier to just drop that ball down the third baseline and run. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ridley Thomas at the plate. Cougars trying to add to a 4-run lead. And now it's a balk. Pitcher drops the ball when he's standing on the rubber. That's a balk. That puts Johnson at third base. Second balk of the night by Brandon pitching, which is very unusual. You go, in fact, in this season, in all of the games I've done for Northwest and the ones for Belhaven, it's the only balks I've seen.
Really?
I mean, you go for, game after game after game and never see a balk. And now I've seen 2 tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ridley Thomas with a runner at third. Infield comes in with 1 out. Swings and misses. Good breaking pitch. Ridley unable to make contact with it. Infield to move back as Case Garner comes to the plate.
Now batting catcher, number 20, Case Garner.
Case delivered the RBI single his last trip to the plate into left field. Great at bat. 1 for 3 on the night. Bounces away from the catcher all the way to the backstop. Justin Johnson will trot to home plate.
He
just tried, the wild pitch.
Just tried to overthrow that one.
So on the pitch, the runner's going to score on the wild pitch. And the Cougars now lead by 5. Nobody on base. Case Garner at the plate with 2 outs. Logan Stewart in the on-deck circle. Ground ball left side up the middle for a base hit. Pass again at shortstop. And Garner's got back-to-back singles. That'll up his average to 185.
Yeah, it was 120.
It was 120.
Yeah, 2 straight hits up to 185.
Chapman comes in as the courtesy runner for him. Carson Chapman. Courtesy runner number 13, Carson Chapman. Now batting shortstop, number 4, Logan Stewart. And, Jay, in a way, you can kind of see the wind has just come out of the sails of the Brandon Bulldogs.
Well, you can tell they just don't have a ton of pitching behind JT Ginn. That's why, we talked about their ERA as a team was 4.18, and his was 1.08, I believe. So it told me a pretty loud story that there's not a ton of pitching behind him.
He did give up 1 run earned tonight. His ERA is now 1.24 after his 4 innings of work tonight. But, yeah, and then you talked about it in our pregame, that the key to the Cougars tonight would be to keep it close until you could get Ginn's pitch count up and get him off the mound and then see what you could do. And that's exactly what they did. That one fouled back by Stewart. When he left, the Brandon was up 3-1. But then the Cougars put up the 6 in the 5th.
Right.
And just had a field day, and now they've added one here in the 6th, lead 8-3.
When Ginn threw 86 pitches. So that's a lot for a high school kid. You just you want to protect that arm as much as you can. So 86 pitches is a ton. But Cougars did a good job of making him go deep in counts and putting the ball in play some. So 86 pitches, a lot.
Now the 2-1 pitch, they'll throw over to first again. And one thing, too, when you look at those pitch counts, MHSAA has put some pretty stringent pitch count regulations on pitchers now, which is good. And you got to look at that. They got to look at who they're playing next. They got region game. They're playing Terry tomorrow night and then Terry again Friday. So they got 2 region games coming up, just like Northwest does. And I'm sure what they want to be able to do is have Ginn available Friday.
Right.
And at 86 pitches, that leaves him with some availability for Friday night against
Sure.
Terry, where if they had left him in, they would eliminate that. Pitch is high for a ball. Runner goes, and Logan Stewart draws the walk. Now batting pitcher, number 9, Dalton Rogers. Dalton singled his last trip on a high chopper over the mound. He was able to beat out. Dalton, one of the superstar soccer players for this Cougar team. Got great speeds, a midfielder. Swings and misses at that first pitch. No balls, 1 strike to count. And that's one thing we talked about it some last week with Marcus here, Jay, and is how many Cougar players, Cougar athletes are multi-sport athletes. And I think it does them well
definitely
to do that. As Dalton's a soccer player and a baseball player. For that pitch, swings and misses through that one, too. No balls, 2 strikes to count.
I'm thankful our coaches pushed us to play multiple sports. I just think that's the way to do it. Middle school, high school. You can specialize down the line. But just get out there, stay active.
0-2 pitch gets just a piece of a breaking ball and fouls it off. Well, and I look at this, of course, Nick Hogan, Justin Johnson, both football players. Dalton's a soccer player. I'm wanting to say Chris Hart may play soccer as well. I'm not. No, he doesn't. I'm looking over here. Just baseball, okay. But I think there's a couple others that play multi-sports as well. This is not ground ball third base, and he bobbles it. And a base running mistake by Chapman. He had a great job earlier, but with 2 outs and he was the lead runner at second, he doesn't need to stop. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. But he stopped and almost messed up because if they could have made the play on it, he was still not all the way to third. And he's got to know the situation and know just to keep running. Now batting second baseman, number 7, Reed Trimble. Courtesy runner for the pitchers, number 12, Jared Jasper. So Jasper in as the courtesy runner. And Reed Trimble takes the first pitch down and in. And Chapman, another base running mistake. He thought it got away from the catcher. And he's going to score on the play. They're going to throw back behind him at third, and he's safe. A base running mistake that he got away with.
Well, it's one of those, when it's going right, it's going right.
And, you know, with that, that's going to be stolen base for everybody around because there was no error on the play. So, can you say triple steal?
You did.
You know, the hitters are taught, or base runners, are taught that when a ball's coming into the dirt, read it into the dirt and get a jump on it.
Right.
And, of course, there's one thing going from first to second or second to third. When you come to the plate, you got to make sure it's clear of the catcher. He didn't. He committed himself, got a little too far down the line. Catcher threw behind him. He took off to the plate, and by the time the throw came back in, he had slid in. The catcher didn't even have an opportunity to try to apply a tag. So now the Cougars' lead is 9-3. Fly ball foul and out of play. That's the second error committed by Brandon on the game tonight. And that's where you just kind of see this whole Brandon team. Once again, left the mound. Their whole
– the confidence level just went down.
It has. Their whole demeanor's changed. Line drive into left center field for a base hit by Trimble. 1 run's going to score. Here comes another run to the plate. 2 more runs for the Cougars on the line drive. Single by Reed Trimble.
It's turned into batting practice now.
And Coach Hester is going to go back to the mound. He wants to make another change. He's trying to figure out something with the rest of his pitching staff. And with this change, we're going to take another break. We'll be back with a change in just a moment. You're watching Northwest Rankin High School Baseball on Cougar Broadcasting.
Hey, Brett.
You made it. Yeah. Hey, my old receivers, Mark and Antonio, they want to hear more about Favorite.
Oh, right. Well, with Farm Bureau Save Rates, you get a great auto quote, plus local agents and fast, friendly claims.
Nice.
Hey,
Should we warn him?
Oh, that's broken.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
sorry.
Totally worth it.
I know. Mind-blowing deals as advertised.
Is the decimal point in the right place?
Let me talk to the head honcho. See if I can't get that price knocked in. We rearranged some details I don't trust you to understand, and I can do $275. But that's my rock bottom deal.
You wouldn't put up with this at a restaurant. Don't put up with it when you buy a car.
So come to Rogers Dab Chevrolet.
It's easier here.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. Clint Emmons has entered the ball game as the pitcher for the Bulldogs. He is the fifth pitcher of the night. Again started the game. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, an earned run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. He hit a batter. He will not factor in the decision. Harvey came in and went a third of an inning, gave up 1 walk, and then was pulled with a 2-0 count. Since then, Walker came in, has gone 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Hilton was second. He came in, went 2/3 inning, gave up 6 hits on 6 runs, all earned, a walk and a strikeout and a homer. And unless something weird were to happen, Hilton will take the loss in the game tonight. New pitchers, number 5, Clint Emmons. Now batting first baseman, number 5, Chris Hart. Left-hander is Emmons, and he'll pitch with a runner at first and 2 outs. That pitch misses inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. For the Cougars, Ramsey went 4 innings, gave up all 3 Brandon runs. But he will not factor in the decision. Rogers will take the win, assuming things stay as they are. Because Rogers came in to pitch the top half of the 5th. Well hit, left center field, going back. Left fielder, right center fielder. And Chris Hart has hit another home run for the Cougars. 2 home runs on the night for Chris Hart. Jay,
wow,
that's ball game.
That is
10-run rule, 13-3.
I was enjoying the home run too much.
With that, we're going to take a quick timeout as I do a wrap-up on the PA, and we'll be back with the final stats and wrap-up. You're watching Northwest Rankin High School baseball on Cougar Broadcasting.
Accidents aren't planned. Mississippi Sports Medicine Orthopedic Urgent Care. You're in, you're out. You're better.
Welcome back to Northwest Rankin High School baseball here on Cougar Broadcasting. And Jay, man, I don't know if you can line it up, write it up any better than that for the Cougars as they pick up a huge victory over the Brandon Bulldogs. The win is going to go to Dalton Rogers. The loss will go to Jack Hilton. No save in the ball game. But, talk first, JT Ginn. The kid's the real thing.
He's the real deal. When he was in the game, he kept them in the game. Sole reason why they were in the game. He can really bring it from the pitcher's mound. You can tell, just a solid kid. 95+ mile-an-hour fastball. A breaking ball, a changeup to go with that. All those pitches he can throw at any count across the plate. just does a super job. But from there, once he got to about 86 pitches, they pulled him. Not much pitching behind them. And, man, the Cougars wore it out last 2 innings, 2-6 spots, and they win this thing 13-3. So you always love to beat your crosstown rival. So that's always good. Get back to reality, though, tomorrow night.
Got to go back to region play tomorrow night. A great game for the Cougars tonight. No question, they're not going to face a pitcher of Ginn's caliber this season unless they face him again for a state championship.
Exactly.
I mean, he's one of a kind. And tonight they put the ball in play. They did score a run against him. He did give up 2 hits, a run. He walked 3 guys. He struck out 9. He hit a batter. He's vulnerable. He's not perfect, but nobody in high school is. But I think that's something you can't take away. They did put some balls in play, but when they change pitch, like you said, then they go back to Brandon. I don't want to put down Brandon. They're a great program, and always have been. Coach Hester's a great coach. But when you get rid of past JT Ginn, they turned into just an above-average team.
Well, and the Cougars are a pretty good ball team too. So they're gonna make you pay when you put a pitcher out there that's not as good as JT Ginn. They're a good ball team. They got some issues on the mound, throwing lots of balls, walking a lot of guys. So there's still some things to work on. But overall, man, I mean, they pounded the baseball the last couple of innings on guys that were not JT Ginn.
My player of the game, it's almost a toss-up between Justin Johnson and Chris Hart. Just look at all the offensive stats. Trimble goes 2 for 5 with 4 RBI on the night. Chris Hart goes 2 for 3 with 2 homers, 3 RBI. Also walked twice. Nick Hogan only 1 for 4. Got a single down the third baseline and thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. Justin Johnson, though, 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, and he had 2 doubles on the game. Case Garner, 2 clutch hits, went 2 for 4 on the night with an RBI. Logan Stewart, 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. And Dalton Rogers, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Altogether, Cougars 13 hits on 13 runs, 10 RBI for the Cougars. The big thing is, as you talked about, the pitching, walking 9 while striking out 11. Got to work on that. Can't give up the free passes. When you play the Madison Centrals and the teams like that of that caliber, they will come back and they'll bite you with those kind of walks totals. But big win tonight for the Cougars. They improved to 10-2 on the season. Big win over your arch rival, the Brandon Bulldogs. And anytime you can do that, you feel happy, and you'll sleep good tonight, and you'll walk in proud tomorrow morning when you come into class.
Definitely. And you feel good about this, but, as we said, you go back to what really matters tomorrow night. And, you think Murrah, not a baseball powerhouse. You can't go into that game thinking lightly of your opponent. You've got to go in, continue to try to get better. And I would hope to see pitchers throwing the ball across the plate, not walking people. That's one place they can work on that beginning tomorrow evening.
Our next broadcast here on Cougar Broadcasting Network will be Thursday night as softball will play Madison Central here at Northwest Rankin, and we'll bring that game to you live here on Cougar Broadcasting. Our next baseball broadcast will be on the 27th when the Cougars host Starkville, another big region game here at Wesley Scarborough Field. Once again, we thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks to Jake Wheeler, Coach Jake, basketball assistant coach. Thanks to also Chase. I almost forgot Chase's name. Chase for helping out tonight. Thanks, as always, to my expert color analyst, Jay Fletcher. Once again, your final score. Northwest Rankin defeats Brandon by a score of 13-3, improving to 10-2 on the season. Until Thursday night, I'm DP saying good night, everybody.